Hey, what's going on? It's Diesel here, doing my first semi-annual, weekly, bi-monthly, daily, something live stream. And let's just see what happens, man. Let's see what goes on. I'm going to be joined by my bro, Jack Tarlad, who I've known.
How you doing, buddy?
What's up, dude? I've known this guy since way back in the
Waybacks.
In the Wayback Machine, man, hanging out at Porter Black Garrett stream. And also we got here our good friend and one of the tripping us out dudes that I know, MSK.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Finally got here. You know, I was thinking about a channel name you could go by. Since you like Transformers, you could go by Robots in Disguise. Wouldn't be a bad name.
No, it wouldn't be. I was thinking about certain things. I figure I'll just go with Diesel for right now, and then think about. I thought something like Botman, like Bot dash Man, and then have like looking like Batman, but with Optimus Prime's head standing on a building.
I like Robots in Disguise better.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. No, and how are you doing? Congratulations, you're finally starting to do this. You know, obviously, for everyone's gonna watch this on the replay because YouTube works. You have the autoplay button, and a few times you're on autoplay, you could be watching random horror clips of someone's getting their throat slit, or you'd be watching stuff like this. So as with some TV season premieres, people who have cameo appearances. This is part of me dialed into a cameo appearance. Because at the time, I didn't know you were doing this. I had scheduled another person already, so but congratulations for finally doing this. Obviously, make sure you do it as a hobby, and you will have a whole lot of fun. Of course, I just woke up, so my clichéness is coming out too.
Yeah, man. I actually didn't know I was gonna do this until like I don't know, maybe an hour ago, and I was like gonna message you. I did message you and was like, when are you starting? I know you've got something going on. So I was just like, well, F it. I'll just start at 7 or 5 your time. And Jack, I have no idea what time it is over there, man. What time is it?
It's 1:05 in the morning at the moment.
Oh.
Yeah, so if it's like day for us, it's night for them. They're 8 hours ahead. So it's probably like 3 a.m. over there right now. Roughly.
Oh,
it's 1 a.m. here.
I was close. Yeah.
1. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be if it was you on Pacific time, it'd be 1:05. Oh, look out now. We have one of my favoriteest people in the entire world, Miss Selena Redwine, the bombshell blonde.
Hi guys.
How you doing, Selena?
You look lovely tonight. You absolutely look lovely with your
Thank you.
With what do you call that?
It's got the typical American white girl swag. That's what it is.
I always thought of that as the Shania Twain stuff because she used to wear that crap back.
Yeah, the cheetah.
Not saying it's crap. I just I'm sorry.
It's just a turn of phrase. We get you.
Yeah, man. It's a
expression. It's just an expression.
Yeah. What Jack said. Man, did you guys see the thing today where that dude was trying to stop this person from spiking a drink or something that was overseas, and he was trying to stop someone from like some immigrant or something or refugee, something that came in. It was overseas, man. I forget. Maybe it was London somewhere, and like the dude cut the guy's face all up and blinded him.
What?
God.
Oh
man, it was awful.
Wait. So the guy who was
I saw something similar,
like the drink,
like that,
would cut someone up, or the guy.
Yes, the guy tried to prevent him from doing that to a girl, and he got messed up. Something. I mean, just.
I remember something similar like that. There was a girl from like Brazil. She went to take a trip to like Africa, and like they had like attacked her and stuff like that. I was like, oh, what the fuck? She ended up surviving. She's not dead, but they like beat her up.
Wow.
And I was like, what the fuck? The only other story I heard about today was, remember how it was in like Nevada? Those people were doing that climate change bullshit, and they were
that was awesome.
And the truck just ran through.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like so stupid. Like people gotta factor in when people are on traffic like that, there's ambulances on there, people that got to get their kids to school, all types of shit. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I would just go through you, but that's the kind of person that I am. If my baby's sick, and, like so when newborns get like random fevers and stuff like that, because of the climate change and stuff like that. Also, climate like the weather
change got them sick.
Like, I'm going right through you. I don't care. Like, I might kill them. Don't give a shit. I don't care. You're
between me and my child going to the hospital. I will run down. Seriously, man, I would run down. Man, I will crawl. I'd crawl through broken glass, barbed wire, and mines. A minefield for that. That's just so stupid. Sitting in the. I think all of these people are paid anyway. They were doing it in the UK. Too.
It was Dylan Mulvaney won the streaming awards. I'm like, whatever. I guess everyone's saying she, and we're just like L. Yeah. If you call a man a she, all right, we're just living in La La Land.
Yeah, that reminds me of something I saw earlier. I think I just. Let's see here.
What's up, Hale Allure? How you doing, man?
Yes. Hey, hi.
Oh, cool. Hale is up in.
Hale's in the chat.
Yes, he is.
Also, forget Hale lost his other account for the moment, so he has a new Twitter. Make sure you guys go follow that one. Actually, I know how you feel, man. I know how you feel. I had a lot of follows in my previous one. I just lost it. So
I had almost 200, man, and then I got into it with one of the people that you were talking to the other day, but I was I felt all so I started really going after him, and then said something I probably shouldn't have said, but it was okay because it was funny.
Yeah,
but, these people don't like humor. So
I've learned that if you simply just suggest that someone say something to your face today, that they simply just crumble at every thought. So I was being a little cheeky today. I was like, you know what? These people are talking shit. I'll be like, hey, you come say it to my face.
Yeah.
Oh, check this out, man.
How that works. Oh, damn, I'm pretty cute. Oh, that's a girl.
Speaking of Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That goes down now too, man. Since we're in clown world, that's got to go down. So just
All right, I gotta head out, but congratulations, man, for starting up like this. Hope you have a great first show.
Thank you for swinging by, brother. I appreciate
Anytime. God.
Bye.
Good to see you, mate. Take care.
See you guys later. Have a great day.
Yeah,
I'll see you guys later tonight. Well, I'll be live later tonight anyway, because
hit us up, man. Cool. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it's cool. So I'm actually the clout chaser now. Hitting him.
No. Well, aren't we all really clout chasers in one way or another? Aren't we all just trying to curry favor with one another by trying to be popular?
We kind of are.
What we do as humans, as social animals.
Yeah.
But going back to what MSK was saying, yeah, I mean, the internet sort of social media environment has bred a load of keyboard warriors who are happy to sit there typing away and saying shit from behind a screen. But faced in real situations, when you put them out there in the real world, and then they start trying to talk that way to just normal people out on the street, and they get their jaw swiped off. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
see, even when you say something like that, it sounds nice. You could say it's your accent, bro. You've got it. You could just be like, well, I thought about taking his head off, so I pulled up a pipe and I smashed his brains in. And
so
that's the most pleasant braining I've ever heard.
Well, I just lit my pipe with one hand and I clubbed him around the head with the other, and that was the end of it.
All right. We have the other half of this beautiful blonde bombshell here. My boy Iron Oxide.
Hey, hi.
How you doing, Iron?
Well,
What's up?
sorry. I had too many screens open, so you were echoing really bad.
That's what happened to
Thank
mine. At first.
Yeah, I was pulling up this stream and there was a delay, so it was like, whoa, I'm thrown off here. But hey, how's it going? First, how you getting the hang of it?
Yeah, kind of. It's like they made it like Jesse was telling me. that they make it kind of like dummy proof, and like if you follow the instructions, I did call him. I did call him and ask him just to make sure, about certain things. Because I didn't even have to use, like, people talk about stream keys and whatnot. All I had to do was go in StreamYard, and it just basically took care of itself. And I had instructions open, and they're just like, in case you're retarded, let's hold your hand and walk you through it. It's like, okay.
I was going to say, so the moral of the story is MSK is just kind of dumb.
Nah, hey, he just came in, man.
I know I missed him. I crashed right after work, so I woke up and had to wake up for a few minutes before I jumped on here. So
yeah,
I had to give him a little shit on his way out.
How many spaces do you have available?
Oh, 10, man. I went ahead and did the subscribe for the $20, man. I figured if I'm gonna do it, I'll have as many people as I can.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be limited or something like that.
I mean, 10 people is quite a good amount of people. You know what I mean? How often do you see the Friday Night Tights panel filled up with 10 squares? How often?
Like,
every
week, man.
Is it?
Just I would say every week until it trails
usually
off.
About 8.
I don't think I've ever seen them have 10 unless it was something big going on. Like,
yeah,
they'll have 10.
A really good topic. Yeah,
they'll have 10 for like they had Benny Johnson on last Friday, and when Benny came on, they had all 10 spots for maybe like an hour.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's stripped out. You got Mahler on there. Jack, you're gonna have to. You're our Mahler, man, but like smooth.
Right. Okay.
You're smoother though. I like your accent better. No, not throwing any shade at Mahler. And plus,
I think Mahler's Welsh, isn't he?
Is he?
Is he Welsh?
Sure.
He doesn't have your. He doesn't quite have your.
Yeah, his accent's definitely different.
Yeah, I can't place Mahler's accent, quite frankly, but he sounds like a really well-spoken Welsh person.
Mm-hmm. It could be,
but I don't know where he's from. So
you say well-spoken Welsh person, like a lot of them aren't.
Well, I mean, when you get really deep into the valleys of Wales, the accent gets super, super thick, and it's very difficult to understand them. And they speak their own language too. In a lot of very rural places, they have their own language, and they stick to that. So when they speak English, they speak with a really, really thick Welsh accent. It's like your boy. The one who played Mark Antony in Cleopatra. Come on, someone help me here.
Oh, shit.
The one who played Mark Antony. It's right on the tip of my tongue. He did the voice for War of the Worlds, that Jeff Wayne thing. You know what I mean?
You're talking about Orson Welles?
No.
Orson Welles?
No.
It's right on the tip of my tongue. I know his name.
Morgan Freeman?
Christ. No. Yeah, it was Morgan Freeman. It was fucking Morgan Freeman, Diesel.
No, it's just an older.
I just thought about War of the Worlds, and I thought about like Orson Welles.
And
then I thought about
as soon as I searched this before,
it's
okay. It's going to come up.
Playing Mark Anthony. It was Denzel Washington.
Yeah, it was Denzel. That was it. Now I remember. Never forget that.
Before we go any further, my brother, the common nerd himself, Jesse, I can't even begin to get an intro like he does, but he has come up all up in here. What's up?
Hey, Jesse.
Hey.
Dude, what is up, brother?
Not too much. Just chilling. Mama and the kids had to go to the store for a few things, so I figured I'd hop on for a moment since it was your first stream on your actual channel. Congratulations, Booby. That's always fun.
Well,
so, yeah, I figured I'd hang out and harass you guys for a little bit. Should be fun.
Hey, man, MSK came by. I totally clout chased off him.
Oh, nice. So basically you didn't get anywhere is what you're telling me.
Probably. That dude, he's got some charisma. He's able to go on fishing and bring in some big time people. He got like Jessica Reloaded on there, and the other Jess, it's wife.
Surly Durley.
Yeah, Surly Durley. Yeah. And then Iron.
Wife of Kron, yeah.
Jesse, have you met Iron and Selena yet?
Not outside of the chat. I don't
Chat,
think
usually,
so.
yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Hi,
I've been watching your show
guys.
for a long
Hi.
time, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I thought I'd seen everybody in the chat. So yeah, I don't always get to stream all over the place too often. So it's always fun to do that and have new friends.
Oh
These,
yeah.
these are two
And then-
of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm interrupting.
Oh no, and then I was gonna just say hi, Jack, but fuck you, you're British, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Hello, Jesse.
Yeah. This is so
Hi,
cool
buddy.
because I've got like my 4 bestest friends on here, man. This is cool.
Right on, man.
Selena and Iron are 2 of the coolest people, man.
Aw,
They
thank you.
yes, you're welcome. They have talked me and helped me out with a lot of stuff going on. Jack too, but they just it's good. It's good people, man. This is just awesome, dude. We're starting some YouTube stuff, and
Yeah,
you're
keep
right,
it going,
Jesse.
man.
It's
Get
it's
the momentum
freaking
going. Maybe that'll inspire me to get off my ass and do it.
dude.
Dude, you've already got like the best background of all of us. What the hell are you doing? You should be like pumping out. You should be like cranking out videos like Gary and shit with a background like that.
Yeah, right. His
I'll just-
background is so badass, dude. He's got like tons of stuff sitting behind him, man.
Yeah, I'll just move the
hoping to have
chair and turn
toys
on the
like that.
webcam and do a 24-hour stream, and I'll just be in the other room.
Everybody
Just like come in and occasionally like dust the toys, you know.
Right.
Just like,
Have-
oh look,
have
they, yeah.
have
there's
the
people on
camera
this channel.
slowly pan
Zoom
back
in.
and forth, so you could be like, "I think I saw Batman this time." Oh, wait, that's Batman. That's Christian Bale Batman. No, wait, there's Michael Keaton Batman. I don't see Clooney, of course not.
And I didn't like the movie, but I got my patents and finally paid off and coming in next week.
Hot Toys.
Yeah.
It looks good.
It's
It
a great
does look
figure,
good.
man. And you know, the suit and just the overall look of the movie wasn't my biggest complaint. It was more, just story wise.
I tried watching it like 3 times and fell asleep every time. So I was like, okay, that's not a good
Thank you.
sign.
It dragged, and it was supposed to be his first run. Like the first time they show him being a detective. The problem is they made him a shitty detective.
Right.
If you don't know what a
that's
rat
all I
with
heard.
wings is, and your name's Batman, you're a retard.
Well, I got about halfway through it, and I all I could think to myself was, "Where's the fucking trigger?"
I could not stand that. The
I know,
interpretation of
right?
the Riddler. That Riddler was garbage.
Yeah. They made him an incel. That's always fun, right?
Oh, was Riddler? Oh yeah, that's right, Riddler. Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah,
Joker for a second, but
slash
yeah, Riddler.
Zodiac.
Like, dude, we got a better Riddler out of freaking Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Than we did
That
out
is
of what they
true.
did in there. I mean, it was more costume accurate.
Yeah,
You
I'll even from the comic book, I'll take the Batman Earth 1. The way they almost made him kind of like a mix between a computer terrorist and Jigsaw from Saw. So that worked for me. All right, if they wanted to go that approach, but I mean, he was just kind of
Zodiac's-
generic and the
Yeah,
Zodiac
Zodiac's
thing
kind of
didn't
a
work
whole
for me.
generic thing. Yeah, because the Zodiac didn't even really have much of a pattern. The only reason they even really knew
No.
what he was doing was because he wrote letters and stuff like that. So it's like,
Exactly.
if you're gonna imitate one serial killer, like that's the shittiest one to imitate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. If you're gonna imitate one, imitate like Genghis Khan or somebody, and just like, yeah. I'm just gonna plow through Europe with a hatchet.
And my
his
dick.
Jack.
That too. Hey, man.
That's why, it's like every person that comes out of Asian. The reason why they're 2 or 3% Mongolian is because Genghis Khan nailed one of their ancestors at one point.
Yeah.
All of him, so they're all a little bit related when you think about it.
Technically,
Is that why they all look the same?
No.
I guess I should
That's
have
racist.
Get your
Diesel.
channel banned straight from the
First
get go.
night,
Like first
first
stream.
night.
strike on the first go.
That's a joke, son. That's a joke. Hey, let's say hey
They
to
get
everybody.
monetized.
Yeah, oh, man. I got about like 13 subscribers.
Hell yeah, that's how it starts. That's how it starts. That's more than I
Man.
had for like the first month.
You've got 23 subscribers right now, I think, or is it
Oh, I
20? Has
do?
it gone up?
See, there you go.
Look out
I
now.
think it's gone up.
Got to refresh.
22.
Got to refresh.
22, man. Look out. Let's say hey to
25.
everybody.
It says for me, dude. I see 25 subscribers on mine.
Oh, you're right. Look at there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look
there
at
you
that.
go.
They're
Yeah,
going
right
up
on.
by the second, buddy.
I'm telling you, man. That's
He'll
just
come in
cool.
there.
See, everybody's bringing their friends. It's so nice. Let's say hey to the people up in the chat. We got Anvac up in here.
Hey, I'm back.
Booties.
And
And then Anvac's been around. Didn't Anvac used to hang out with us back in Quarter Black Garrett's chat? I think. Or
yeah, I
am
think so.
He's been around for a while.
Yeah, he gets
Yeah.
all over the place now. So yeah, we see him in back a lot of places.
We all
And,
get about all over the place.
We got our that's my boy. Hell, the Lord, that is a darn good man. And like I think it was Tiny that said something the other day. He acts so much more mature
Than his age, yeah.
than his actual age. I'm just like, man, I couldn't
Oh,
even
Christ.
comprehend.
Is he another
that.
kid?
He's in his,
Yeah, he's
I
in
think-
his early 20s.
Yeah, man. He might be 22, 23, man. I'm just like,
Wow.
No,
Dude.
he's got his head on right. He thinks he already found himself a girl, like a good one,
That's the way to do it.
and he's ready to move. Yeah, exactly. And doing it at that age is the right time to do it too. And he's like, I'm ready to move to Texas. Just wait, got to get a few things straightened out. Lady Laura's already down for it. I'm like, you got a spot open, Bubba. You know that. So
dude, we should all move to Texas and then we'll just get like we'll have like a compound or something. I'm already used to the weather,
we'll start a Tim Paul cult.
dude, it's
I
Gulch,
don't know about
Gulch,
that,
baby.
mate. Sounds a bit communist to me.
That's what I'm saying. Gulch. Come on. Who hasn't read Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged? We're going for Gulch, baby.
I haven't read that.
Oh, you need to read that. At least look up what Gulch is. You'll love
I have
the whole
heard
concept.
of that though. Gults.
Actually, it's funny. I just said that. I'm actually wearing my Gulch, Colorado t-shirt today.
All right, how does that Gult like Gult?
Yeah, Galt, because the guy's name's John
Galt.
Galt, and that's the question throughout the book,
Galt.
the entire
Galt.
who is John Galt, and you finally get to find out at the end, and you're like, oh wow,
Now let's see here.
it's
we
incredibly
got-
long. Pick up the audiobook. It's incredibly long.
Man, I don't do
It's Old Man
audiobooks.
Withers, the man from the amusement park.
There's this beautiful lady saying hello in the chat. And my favorite UK buddy.
Who's that?
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
he's a right ugly bugger, he is, isn't he? Look at him.
He likes to point.
I like to point the finger. What I'm
know.
actually saying in my profile picture is smell my finger.
I don't know who this a-hole is. I think he's kind of retarded.
He's hot.
That we know. Can
Wow.
confirm.
Look at him.
Yeah, especially without that mustache.
Hey, man. I got a little carried away when I was trimming up stuff today, so I figured
You do look a little what is it, J. Jonah Jameson tonight?
Yeah.
I got
I
that.
was
not
thinking
bad, though.
I think it was
It's not
more
bad.
I think it was more Chris Cornell, but you know, let's
Not
see.
bad, though, mate. I'm not
the
ragging on
Bugle
you.
Daily's thunder here.
Yeah, you guys were
JJ
talking about
cosplay.
what even is this? That's a good question, man. Did you see the title? I don't know what it is, man. I just
What the hell
started
is even
first
that?
inaugural bi-weekly, semi-annually, quarterly live stream. That was all the gobbledygook I could fit in the description.
I like
Well, those are usually the best titles because when we're not supposed to talk about Chad Stream, but when we started doing Chad Stream,
Yeah.
it was the super mega Chad show after the thing with the stuff. Do you know what I mean? It was just this long, convoluted title.
I feel terrible because I hadn't been in Garrett's stream in a while. I think he's busy, and probably the only time he streams is on Sunday now, right?
I mean, especially with the normal world stuff that he's doing now, you know what I mean? He's going to be run off his
Oh yes,
feet.
probably keeps him busy.
I love Normal World. When he had Gary on there and they were sitting there talking about addiction and stuff,
That was a good one.
That was a really good one, especially because me being recovering alcoholic. I was just like, dude, I'm there.
I mean, there's a lot of people in the chat that they've got expectations of what they thought Normal World was going to be and the direction that they're going to take. And my response to it all is simply, it's how they want to produce it. Do you know what I mean? Where I went into it with a few expectations too. After like the first episode when they got Flawed on, I thought like, oh, maybe it's going to be that type of variety show. It's going to be like they'll do a sketch and then they'll do some bit in the studio and then maybe they'll have a guest on and then maybe they'll like have a bit of music on at the end. Maybe they'll have like one music artist every episode or something like that. But then as the episodes went on, I noticed that it sort of changed themes and it's not exactly all the same every time.
Yeah.
But I don't mind that. And
I
sometimes
like
they have people on who talk about things like it's all the nitty gritty from like the showbiz world and like behind the scenes and stories that they've got to tell. And I'm all into that. And like you see people in the chat going, oh, this is just another boring stream where they talk to one another. It's like, yeah, what were you expecting? That's what I came here for.
I think
Kind of all I watch. So.
I like it because it's like I think those skits would probably get old if they did them too much, man. You know? And some of them are funny, some of them aren't. But like having like a skit sometimes at the beginning and then talking to people, I think is awesome. And Dave Landau is just the funniest dude. God, he is so funny. He is absolutely hilarious. Chris Anth up in here. You heard there were shenanigans. You are correct, ma'am. We've already shenaniganed around.
There are shenanigans. If he was monetized, he would probably be demonetized already.
Yeah. I already made sure I did that. Oh my OMG, Diesel finally made a channel. Yep, and Nightwing, we're gonna have to talk Transformers sometime, man. We're gonna have to nerd out, dude. Totally nerd out.
At first glance, I thought that was MSK trying to sneak his way back on YouTube.
See, when Jesse had his like birthday stream, that's when I first like MSK came in. I was like, wait, it's another Nightwing? I can't keep up with all this stuff. I barely keep up with my name.
MSK goes by many names.
Yeah, Wayne, that's
Top G is probably his favorite.
Yeah.
Tim Hayes,
his
up in
favorite.
the
It's not
house.
anybody else's.
Right.
Tim, thank you so much for giving me a sub and a like. I appreciate it, dude. I appreciate everybody hanging. I can't believe there's people like just hanging out in the chat. That's awesome.
Man,
To me,
25
it's
on your
like-
first stream is actually really, really impressive. That's pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
It's nice to have
I just-
friends who have halfway decent social media followings that are willing to utilize that for their friends' gain. The social stuff.
Amen.
That's why sharing out on your social media, sharing out on your tweets works. All that shit does.
Be
Makes a
still my heart. This beautiful lady came in to say hello. Thank you. And the door is always open if you want to come hang out, Tiny. Always open.
Hey, Tiny.
Unless you're bringing in, like, I don't know, weapons of mass destruction. No, actually, that'd be kind of cool. We could blow something up. That'd be all right.
In Minecraft. He means in Minecraft.
In Minecraft, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
in
Yeah,
Minecraft,
yeah.
for the
Yeah,
love
you
of
ever-
God. This is how it
Yeah.
starts. This is how it starts.
I'm trying not to, Ben. What the, this is, I'm kind of retarded. So,
Kind
Just got to get your soundboard set up.
I know, right? I'll have to do something like that, man. The soundboard and
We'll have to talk, mate. We'll talk tech.
yeah,
Are you using
definitely.
voice
I
meter?
was gonna say, yeah, figure out how to utilize like putting in clips and sound effects.
You know,
That's what I
Yeah.
need to try to learn how to
Speaking
do
of
too.
which, where's my buttons? Where are my buttons?
yeah. Well, anytime you are more than welcome. I know it was last minute, and just you saying hey in the chat is awesome. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Diesel, on your first stream.
Thank you, man.
Mhm.
I haven't totally nuked the planet yet, so yay. It's
In
the only way-
Minecraft.
In Minecraft, that's the only way to you gotta take off and nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
No,
I'll be
no.
right back.
Say exterminatus. That's a Warhammer
Exterminatus.
40K reference. It means the exact same thing, but not as many people know what it is. And YouTube definitely doesn't get you mad at for saying exterminatus.
Well, I was quoting Aliens. That's my favorite
Oh, yeah.
movie of all time, by the way. I might have to
That is
have
true.
somebody on, and we're gonna have to like do a deep dive. I love that movie. I absolutely just yeah, man. I'm obsessed with a few things in case you can't tell. But Aliens is just freaking
Well, I mean, I know that Gravy Lademaster likes to, do some streams about videos and stuff like that. Maybe it's worth reaching out at some point to, have.
Did you
have
say
a-
Gravy Laid Master?
Yeah, Gravy Lademaster. Yeah, Gravy.
Hey man, she will geek you out on some 40K.
Yeah,
dude,
man,
She
definitely.
She's
knows-
great.
yeah,
I had her
she-
on one night for a Wednesday night stream. She was actually producing for Gary on Friday night. Did you guys see that
Mhm,
on
mhm.
No,
FMT?
that's awesome.
Yeah, she was the one producing for him. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
She's-
Filling in for
she's-
X-Ray Girl.
It's
X-ray
really
girl.
good.
Wow.
Yeah, she's been doing stuff. I know Gary always talks about in the private Discord that she and Melissa, Gary's wife, are always talking about stuff because he'll go in there and just be like, "Yeah, this is total lady stuff."
That is
What, in the
Oh.
Nerdrotics Discord server?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
seriously, you are the absolute best. I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
Diesel is real people, man. You're good people, and that's why we turned up. Because why the hell not? You know what I mean? It was very short notice. You only thought about it yourself tonight, and like you threw it out there. And I was happy to drop absolutely anything to come and do this, mate.
Oh, dude, that means you guys are so. I can just feel the love over here. We had Tiny saying nice things, Jack saying nice things, Selena and Iron always say nice things. Jesse kind of says nice things, or
Shut up, you're a dickhead.
yeah, that too. I like that. That's
Nice things, hidden, camouflaged in an insult. Always the
That's
best
all
thing.
right. Hey, man, I knew a dude who used to curse me out all the time, but I just thought it was love. He liked me. That's why he
Hey,
called
don't forget
me
to
that.
mod somebody in the chat so we can swear.
Oh, let's see.
Because
How-
otherwise,
how
if we swear, they'll hide our words.
how do you do that? Let's see. Hell
Okay,
the Lord.
so-
I'm gonna mod him. How do you do that?
Okay, so do you have the YouTube chat opened up?
I do.
All right, so click on their name, and then
You know the
and then that
dots next
those
to their
three,
name.
yeah, those three little dots
Oh,
next
oh,
to their
yeah.
name. Click it, and then just turn them into, and then you just hit moderator.
Oh, holy crap. That's easy as hell.
Managing
Is that as
moderator.
easy that they've made
This
it now? Because
stuff
I
is-
thought that you
this-
had to add their username in through the back end in
Nope,
the
not
studio.
anymore. You
Studio.
just click on
Oh,
them in
nice.
chat. You just click on them in chat. No, like
Nice.
that's what Diesel got on the phone with me earlier. I was walking him through how to do the StreamYard stuff, and I'm like, dude, I promise you, like literally, they make it like stupid easy. Like keep it simple, stupid to a fact. Like it's giant buttons. Just look for the giant buttons.
That's good
I
to
think
know.
that's why I've been so intimidated by it. Just
Yeah.
like, I have
It's
to learn
like
stuff.
okay, like, and this is what I explained to him earlier too. Like it used to be like when you had to use OBS to do everything, it was a lot harder because you had to know about your stream keys and all that kind of stuff. But OBS started to integrate with YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and not Twitter yet, I don't think, but like Kick and you know, what was that other one? Twitch, that other one that's shot itself in the foot. All of that stuff. So now, like even now, like if you just have regular OBS, you just click YouTube and it'll let you sign into your YouTube account, and then you can stream directly from OBS to your YouTube account without having a stream key and all of that kind of stuff. Or
Alright.
StreamYard.
So how
is
do
the
you
same
do
way.
it? How do you do it from StreamYards to multiple targets then?
Oh, they've got
Okay,
a
so
thing that
that you
says
have-
share it or something like
Yeah,
that.
I think you have to
Add
pay.
it.
Hey,
They've got
waifu Kron. I just want to say hi. I see you in the chat, girl.
Oh,
Love
waifu
you.
Cran, Jess is here. Hi,
Oh,
Jess.
She's
cool.
awesome.
Jess showed up. Nice. Now we.
She had a birthday stream the other night. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
That was
Yeah,
fun.
you guys were having fun, man. That's
Oh yeah,
awesome.
we were.
I took a sobriety break for that one. Probably not the best idea.
It really was.
Jess is absolutely awesome. I showed up on MSK
yeah, so much
stream,
fun.
and then
They're
her
awesome.
and the two Jesses were there, and I was just like, "Wait a second, what is going? There's women on here. What's going on, man?"
Especially in Diesel's chat. What the hell?
Yeah, man, this is awesome, dude.
Thank you for making me a mod.
You can abuse your power. You can abuse your power and accidentally or intentionally time people out, like I did when I was in the hospital and using an old broken phone.
Yeah, right.
That's
Exactly.
when-
To me.
That's when me and Jesse became good friends, when I timed him out. That was hilarious because Quarter Black was just like, Diesel, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
I was like, I think I breathed against the screen in my thumb, and it was just like, and I was using, dude, seriously, I was watching and posting from that thing.
Oh god.
It's like that meme, you know, I've seen it in shorts before, like where you get out of the shower, they've got the phone on the side, they get out of the shower and the tiniest little bit of water strips onto the screen and it texts something to your mom like fuck you or something like that.
Yeah. It's like
Dude,
like your phone scrolls through the Terminator things like fuck you asshole. Start
Yeah, this
selecting
motherfucker
things.
fucking timed me out. I had to come back in there with my fucking account that I use for my TV going, what the fuck, Diesel? The hell is
Yeah,
that?
I know. Dude, it was like seriously, I was in the hospital all messed up from like the staph infection from my spine surgery where I had to have a couple of vertebra fused. Oh, happy birthday, waifu Kron. Is that how you say that? I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say
that's
Jess.
right,
You
mate.
say it.
Okay,
Waifu
waifu,
Kron.
right, or Jess.
No, I think you should be
Jeff,
required to
yeah.
say waifu cron just so we can watch
Right.
you
Just so we
struggle.
can hear you say it.
Oh,
Oh,
waifu
and
Kron's even
try
better. It
again.
sounds like a Decepticon.
Waifu Kron.
That's what I'm
really
saying.
jealous.
Oh,
The
man,
waifu
somebody-
Krons are attacking everybody. Autobots.
That would be actually awesome. Somebody
No.
that
If
Skill Mater
waifu
into
Kron,
a
if
transformer theme, that'd be pretty cool.
If waifu Kron is a transformer, all I have in my head is, did you take the garbage out like I asked you to?
That is one of the dude. That's one of the sound effects I gotta get, man. That's a couple of them, dude. Oh, and Tiny, as a mod, you can What do you do as a mod? I've been on
Drop
Just-
links,
you-
drop links, and allow bad words.
Yeah, that's about it.
And then
And
somebody
time
comes in
people out.
spamming. Yeah, if somebody comes in spamming, then
Yeah.
yeah, time them out. But
Yeah, I
other than
have
that,
seen
that's
some
pretty much
spamming stuff before.
You see, Diesel, the thing is, right, what I learned, it's the prestige of having that blue name and
I know,
the
right?
wrench
Monkey
next to your
wrench.
name.
It feels good.
Yeah,
Quarter Black
it's like,
modded me, and I
Ooh.
kept thanking him for the next like
street
2 or 3
cred.
streams. I was like, I'm a mod on Quarter Black Garrett's channel. I got my street cred, fool.
Diesel,
especially now.
I am a mod on
On
normal
normal
world.
world, I know you got way more street cred than me, dude.
Jack.
It's-
A
it's-
Blaze affiliated network. Ooh.
know, right, man?
Ooh, get me.
Yeah. Good thing you're in England. It's not going to fucking matter.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
like,
dude. That is
So many people get modded to people's channels. Waifu Kron has literally just done a purge of her channel and all the mods in her channel. She's gave the sort of responsibility to the co-hosts basically, because keep it small. You know, don't give it out to everybody, because you want to mitigate risk as much as you can, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not too much
if you want
moderators
to.
can. Well, I mean, there's not really too much moderators can do outside of like, banning people from your chat. But even then, you can go in on the back end and undo that stuff too. So it's like, it's one of them situations where as long as you don't have any stupid moderators and you make the real rules pretty clear, that it's normally. I've never had any problems anyway. But I don't. It's not like I'm some crazy stupid big channel or anything.
Well, I modded all you guys because you're awesome and Tiny, and you guys are it's my crew.
Well, and
people.
if it's people you trust to stream with you, then most of the time, especially if you think that they'll be around for a while, most of the time it's people you can trust to trust to make mods, because it also makes it easier on you as a host too, because then they can drop their own links if you don't have a bunch of mods around and stuff like that too. It makes life easier all around.
And of course, Hell the Lore, who's the most mature 20-something-year-old I know. Yeah, that dude's got his head.
He definitely had to be a mod.
He's got he just exudes professionalism. Maybe even when he's owning dummies on Twitter.
He's very well spoken,
That's
isn't
my
he?
favorite thing he does.
Very articulate, very well spoken, well thought out.
A dude called They Mad was getting into it earlier with it.
I was watching that, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Lord,
was just
not
like,
that
yeah.
guy.
I guess his name is his
God,
name's
he's
appropriate,
annoying.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
retweet flame wars that Hale gets in is
I know.
Shit's
extreme.
hilarious.
He
He's
jumps
just
in.
basically an Eric July hate bot.
Yeah, I know, right? And like, I'm just, I don't understand the Eric July hate, man. Well, I kind of do, but like, it's so weird. It's like they got TDS, but it's EJDS, Eric July derangement syndrome.
I just think everybody should just mind their own business. Like, I don't get it.
I've been keeping up with Eric July, but I had no idea that there was such like a backlash towards him until the other day, where I kept seeing the hashtag something like Ripper versus Comicsgate, and I thought, what the fuck is this now? Why do they add gate onto the end of everything, like Watergate? You know what I mean? Watergate was the name of the fucking hotel. Okay,
I think it started with Gamergate, and then it went on from there.
So this Comicsgate thing, what the fuck is it exactly? What has he done wrong? He's made a bunch of comics that seem like, you know, people want to buy them. He's made a whole bunch of money out of it, and all I can see is people saying that it's hackish and that it's crap. Well, if that's the case, well, how has he had all those people buying it? I don't get it. What is this Comicsgate, Ripperverse Comicsgate thing then? Can anyone explain it to me?
Well, Comicsgate is like, I don't think I can explain it, but I think didn't it start with EVS, Ethan Van Sciver, and them, and they were like basically like, we're not going to put like a bunch of like political crap in our comics.
Okay, so yeah, I get what you mean. So Comicsgate is completely separate to the Ripperverse July thing. I thought because it was being used as a hashtag together, I thought that they were saying that there was some kind of Comicsgate relating to Ripperverse specifically.
Well, technically there is. Two Comicsgate guys did covers for Eric. There's an EVS cover, and then there's Shane also Davis. What's the other? Yeah, Shane Davis did the other cover as well. So the whole Comicsgate thing was basically what happened was the DC and Marvel comic book companies got taken over by all that cult ideology, all of the modern retelling nonsense, right? And they started purging people. And EVS was one of the first ones that was like, I'm not going to put up with this shit. And so I don't know if he actually got fired or if he just left on his own.
Fired.
But okay, he did get fired. Yeah. So because I got some of his last DC comics right over here. So they fired him because he wasn't going to put up with their nonsense. And so he decided he got his Cyber Frog up and going again and launched an Indiegogo and just kind of went off with it. And people started joining, people started coming in, and the whole Comicsgate thing is essentially going, we're not going to let you tell us how to write our comics. And we're not going to let your politics be inserted into our comics either. We don't have to agree with your opinions on this stuff, and we don't have to hate you for that. But we also don't have to do it your way either. We're going to do it our own way. And of course, if you know how the cult reacts to anything in the modern era, that is enough to equal you out to be a racist, a homophobe, a transphobe, every other not other thing out there. So that's how all of this stuff starts. It was the same thing with Gamergate. It was a very similar thing with that, except there was some more stuff with gaming buying gaming journalists and buying reviews and maybe sleeping your way to some nice reviews. It's because of the Watergate thing. Now they want to make everything a gate because Watergate is so synonymous with the whole conspiracy and scandal and yada 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 shit.
So with Eric July then, so is it just simply because he's an independent creator and he's made a successful go of it and they don't like it, so they're just calling him ministophobe?
And they associate because he doesn't want to. He doesn't agree with their, mind virus about putting all your politics into everything, and because he's actually shows up has been on the Blaze, a few times over the past couple. They automatically
because when he's not talking about comic books, which he's extremely well versed on, he's talking about like libertarian politics and stuff. Yeah. He's not even like a far right guy or anything. He's kind of in his own. He's got his own thing, and that's still. It's like, no, you have to be over here. So.
I mean, I have seen him debate some of his detractors live on stream before. It's absolutely brilliant because they bring in such straw man arguments, and they're saying that he knows nothing about comics, or he's a hack, and that he doesn't know how to write stories, and they're trying to school him. And he's got the answers right there for him. He knows precisely it's targeted.
That guy has more long boxes than probable actual comics that any of those detractors have read from cover to cover. Like trying to go toe to toe with with Eric July on comics, especially like basically anything like post 80s, is like trying to go up with clobbering times for anything silver or golden age. You're in a losing battle. You are showing up unarmed, and you're a moron for even trying to step to somebody like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
Like
even
going, I know
argue
more
his-
about Gary than comics.
there is a good bit of jealousy in there, no doubt.
Mhm.
It's that
Oh,
there's
it's
a
all
lot of
jealousy.
that, but they have automatically put things into like a box because he doesn't fit with their whatever their mind virus stuff that goes on, and they doesn't have the same. How dare he not think like they do, and how dare he be a black dude and not think like they do, and how dare he try to start his own comic and not think like they do.
I think
they
his
want
two
people to
most
bend the
prominent is the two most famous and prominent people going after him right now don't even give a shit. They just smelled money and blood in the water, and it was just an easy thing to just leech off of and content farm. That's all they're that's all those two. Yeah.
Those two
that's all they're
hateful
doing.
idiots. Yeah, and like
Yeah,
I never
they're-
even watched his stuff beforehand. I only ever saw him on like Flashcast, and I think maybe Ricada like once. And I was like, this guy sounds like a moron. Like okay, so he reminds me. This isn't even fair because MSK isn't anywhere near this bad, okay? But like the way he obsessed over like the one time a good-looking girl showed up on the stream, it was like it reminds me of like a 40, 50-year-old MSK who wants to be edgy for edgy's sake, who doesn't believe any of the bullshit he's spouting, who wants to claim that he's an artist and is just doing things for the art, but he can't make a living at it. You know what we used to call those? Starving artists. And they normally brought your pizzas and delivered your fries.
Who was talking about a good-looking girl on the stream? Because we already got that. We got one now, and we got some in the chat. We got them in the chat too. Yay us!
Hell, I got
You
one
got
here
quite
at the
a
house.
few,
Let me check
Jess.
We got Jess, Tiny, Selena. Man, we have you guys. Selena, you and Tiny should get together and do some cosplay stuff. She is amazing cosplay. I've seen some of hers.
I'd love to see some of it. Yeah. I
We're
love
actually going to do. Well, I was going to say we've got the plans to do a cosplay stream at some point on my Wednesday night
right
show. And I've already reached out to a bunch of the girls, including the chick that did those cosplay covers for, oh God, what was his name?
Lynn something Synthetica or something another.
Yeah, but the one that did did the for Rebel, did the cosplay covers for Rebel. The real fit chick. And
that's
she's
Lynn, the one that came on your stream.
Yeah, Synthetica or whatever.
Yeah. She's
so her, and so if you do cosplay stuff too, then that would be great to have you on to talk about that, because I just want to give the girls a chance to like geek out over that stuff, and the guys aren't going to complain if we show like a constant stream of the pictures. You know what I mean? So I figured it's a win-win for everybody.
And good gravy, that woman hits the gym like I do.
I do a really good slave Princess Leia cosplay.
Jack, we're trying to draw in viewers, not make them run away and scream for their eyesight.
Tiny says they claim everyone buying his books is just a follower. They hate anyone being successful is against their ideology. Yeah, they think that they're just brainwashed. Eric July has brainwashed all these people into buying their comics. This is what goes through these people's heads, man. They think he's able to break. It has nothing to do with the fact that he had like a podcast for forever. Oh, go ahead, Jack.
It depends on how you look at it, because he did spend an awful long time marketing his product. He hyped it up for a very long time. But the difference is, it's like it lived up to the hype. He's not getting any complaints about it. He's not. The only people who I see complaining about the work is people who haven't bought the work.
Yeah, or we're gonna hate it anyway.
Yeah. It's like, you know, he hyped it up for a very long time. Yeah. He did all the marketing out of his own money. Yeah. He made a product and he said, I'm not going to do the campaign until I've got a finished product for you. And that's when he did the campaign. You know what I mean? It's like, I've got a finished product. It's ready and raring to go right now. Do you want it? And they went, take my money. And he got over $3 million in his first first comic.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
insane.
incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It just
is.
shows
It's
what you can do.
amazing.
And he took the risk. He didn't do a crowdfunding.
No,
put up the
he put
money,
his own money,
made a
man.
product, and then put the product up for sale,
Mhm.
so it would be ready to ship once everybody that wanted it bought it. I mean,
And no one's waiting for it.
That's some gusto.
No one's waiting for it. As soon as the orders are placed, they're being
Yeah.
processed and shipped. I mean, we're being proper Ripperverse shills here at the moment, but that's all I can see coming out from it. I'm just speaking honestly from what I see people talking about on Twitter and what I see him talking about on Twitter.
Yeah, I haven't even read.
Everything seems to be going really well for him. He's organized.
I haven't read the comic or got one yet, but I plan on doing it just for the simple fact that I listened to his live stream for a long time. And anyone that says anything about him not knowing comics is absolutely, they're brain dead, man. The dude, he had DC stuff up on his wall for forever. He talked about that all the time. He just got so burnt out on the trash that Marvel and DC were putting out that he was like, I'm done. There came a point where he was just like, I'm done. I'm not supporting these people. And then he decided to make his own, and it's successful.
And the first video of his I saw on was just him doing a whole backtrack of all the different multiverse things within DC Comics continuity, and that fucking blew me away. Because I think like one of the first things I ever started reading was the Crisis on Infinite Earths, the one that results in like the Supergirl's death and everything there. So that was, hadn't even heard about a lot of the stuff that they had done before that. They had done so many resets, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And he just goes in through all of it. It's really interesting. So
Dude,
the way he wasn't even really shit talking other than, multiverses are lazy.
I just wish that I had maybe a little bit more thought about. The only comics I read back in the day were Transformers comics because I'm obsessed with Transformers. I can live with that. I'm cool with that. Me and my psychiatrist and the voices in my head are all cool with it. I don't have a psychiatrist, but
well, you think you do, but he's not real.
It's actually probably one of my personalities coming out in the head. It's like the Deadpool game. Did you ever play that where he had the voices in his head talking to him the whole time? It's like that, except a little bbit like
The strange thing is, though, he's still got a German accent. Would you like a couch to lie on?
To like a couch to lie on, Herr Diesel.
Tell me about your mother.
Tell me about your mother. Did she cuddle you enough when you were an infant?
Or too much?
Or perhaps too much. Did you breastfeed until you were 8 years old? Or 12. Some people do it. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to just...
How do you know about my past, Diesel? I've never spoken to you about this.
I'm making it up as it goes.
Oh, I mean, what am I talking about? Not my past, no.
Yeah, but I had when the Transformers comics came out, Secret Wars was going on, man. Because Spider-Man in the black suit showed up in Transformers #3. It was hilarious because they were just like, we got to market this thing. Let's put Spider-Man in the Transformers comic. So he's like webbing up Megatron and whatnot. It's hilarious. But like my whole long spiel on that is I kind of wish I had got some of those comics because I don't know enough about, I haven't read a whole lot. I have read a few things now. Like I had somebody send me a just gorgeous hardcover of Iron Man Extremis, which was, I love that story. And the art in it is just fantastic. And I also got a big X-Men thing. It started with like giant size X-Men, and I guess it was 100 or 1 or whatever. And I got a big omnibus of black and white that started with Chris Claremont's run. And I read a whole bunch of that stuff. And that was awesome. I also had one that had the Dark Phoenix saga and then some other stuff that was going on. But I mostly watched a lot of the animated stuff. So some of it's like some of the X-Men, the animated series is taken from the comic. Not exactly, But there's some things in there like with I believe with Juggernaut and Black Tom Cassidy that's in there that they put in an episode. And my favorite, are you laughing because of the Juggernaut, bitch? Yes, that's the funniest thing ever. If you haven't seen it, it was so in 2005.
Classic internet.
Oh, you know, I knew you know about it too, man. Oh, it's just like in 2005, man. I was working, and that came around. I bet I watched that. That's one of those things I wish I could go back and rewatch again. You ever want to erase parts of your brain so you could enjoy something just like right from the get-go and laugh? I laughed so hard.
I don't know, mate. I don't know, because it might be a cultural thing, because
at the time,
whereas you might be looking at it from an actual comedic point of view, you thought it was a really funny thing. I'm looking at it from more of a cringe point of view, because it's Vinnie Jones who plays him, and he's turned into a bit of a cringe sort of. Yeah, he was never a good actor anyway. You know what I mean? He was an actor, but he was never a good actor. And he's just because he was.
No, just in the movie when they put
in the movie, the Juggernaut was played by Vinnie Jones.
They referenced this on the Juggernaut, bitch, and I was just like, they took that from that dude making that 8-minute dub of that. That's one of the funniest things. I was trying to get Nick Weiser to play it, and as soon as it mentioned graping, he's like, wait, we can't have that on there. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about it. My Way. That's it. My Way Entertainment. They were hilarious.
Oh, I see what you mean now. We've got our wires crossed. Yeah, it's not a cultural thing at all. I'm looking at it from a point of cringe anyway. That's why I laughed about it. As soon as you says I'm the Juggernaut, as soon as you said about the Juggernaut, instantly in my head I thought of the Vinnie Jones bit in the movie. About X-Men 3. And it's really cringe. It's just super
everything
super
about
cringe.
X-Men 3 is really cringe, though, to be honest.
Yeah, but that Juggernaut bitch in X-Men 3 was taken from the original YouTube. No, it was taken.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It was taken from that guy's dub of the My Way Entertainment's dub of the old X-Men cartoon. It's like, yes, the Juggernaut, bitch. Yeah, Charles, I beat the shit out you. And it just shows him beating up, and it's these dudes. This is a Dodge. See my motherfucking spaceship? This is a Dodge. It's hilarious, man. And it's like, it just goes on for 9 minutes. And I was laughing so hard at work, and people were like, what's wrong with you? And I was just like, you gotta watch this. I'm falling out of my chair because, like, man, when I start laughing at stuff, I don't. Ooh, we'll have to get into stories sometime.
Those are good. The guys that do the voiceovers over the old 70s Batman cartoons, those are been great too, man. I don't know if you've seen any of those yet.
Have you ever? I haven't seen that. But I did
subs, something like that.
I did see the one where they did the old Spider-Man cartoon a couple of times.
Yeah, it's the same guy. Same guy.
Oh, that dude is like,
yeah.
And he comes to the window.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Mustard. That's right. That's right. Mustard. I'm motherfucking ketchup in this bitch. Zap your dumb ass.
Going back even older than that's the voiceovers of the old G.I. Joe PSAs.
Oh, yeah.
Years ago, but those were great.
Pork chop sandwiches.
Yo, you beat me to it, you son of a bitch. Pork chop sandwiches.
I'm sorry, Tiny, but that is cool that you get to do that. My brain damage is from my own substance abuse. Yeah, it turns out you need those brain cells, man, when you're drinking them away.
Overrated.
Speaking of which, this is my channel and my stream. I am 8 years, 9 months, and 14 days sober. Look at yonder.
Good for you, buddy. Well done.
That's
really
cool.
Impressive, man. Good job.
I appreciate it.
Diesel.
Jesse's about 2 days sober from the other day. From the Vets Talking stream. You guys are hilarious. I'm so glad that Iron and Selena were the ones that pointed me to that. Go see, and I remember you talking about it, so I went and checked it out. That was freaking hilarious. And y'all just piled on Dermy Wormy like he was like,
bless him. Yeah, he always gets picked on.
Whether on that or Ballbusters, it's always just a shit on Dermy Wormy.
Dude, it's so great. He's such a good punching bag. He takes it so well.
He's actually one of my favorite content creators on here. I love that dude. But,
He's
man,
great.
It's
Dermy's
hilarious.
Thank you. They had a 5-minute thing where the guy was just talking about what kind of a piece of crap.
Raster.
I was sitting there, Raster was just going on and on. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was like,
Oh yeah, I love it so
I
much.
know,
It's
Dermot.
so
I know
good.
you guys were
Raster's
tripping out,
ruthless, man.
Man. He is
Dude,
ruthless.
Raster, yeah. It was so great. Raster, like a couple of weeks ago, Dermy was like, common nerds here. Why don't you pick on him? And Raster just looks at, well, doesn't look at him, but he goes, he takes it too well. He's like, he just rolls with it. He's no fun. He's like, you're the one that gets all butthurt about it and defensive. That's why it's fun to fuck with you.
That's what
I think my favorite was when everybody was congratulating him on his recent, he's working out, losing weight, which is
his
awesome.
weight loss.
And then Raster just with not even a second, no, fuck that. You're a piece of shit.
You're a piece of
God
We
damn,
can't let
man.
this niceness go on for too long, okay? Shit, I gotta fly, dude. My favorite in that clip is when Culture's trying to be nice to Dermy, and like Raster, Mr. doesn't have a channel, doesn't have nothing, right? Just hangs out with everybody else, cuts Culture off, and it's like, no, listen here, I don't care if you are Culture Casino. We are not doing that shit. Dermy is a piece of shit.
They had that. They had part of that in that montage. All the stuff.
Yeah, the montage.
Montage thing.
Yeah, my face was hurting after that, man.
Yeah, no, right. Hey,
I
thank
love
you.
it every time we play it.
Thank you, Hell. It's all God, man. God, like, yeah. God put AA here to get you sober, man. And it's awesome.
It works if you work it.
I'm telling you, man, and I won't stop singing. Since it's my channel and stuff. I'm just like, Jesus is Lord. This is awesome. God has blessed me with so much stuff. I should be dead 1,000 times over. Always got to give a shout out to the band up in Jesus, because I don't want him to be embarrassed to me when I show up dead. Say that, if I was embarrassed to him, he'd be embarrassed to me. So.
Well, you got to get through the pearly gates first. So it's St. Peter who's the doorman, isn't it? You know what I mean? He's the one who's standing there at the pearly gates waiting to let you in. So you got to impress him first, because otherwise he ain't letting you in.
Well, he's got
Sorry, mate. What's your name? Yeah. I don't know. You got a few things here. A bit shady.
He's got a list. He's got a list like Santa Claus. He's going down through there and everything. Checking.
First thing he's going to ask you. So, what do you know about MSK?
No, I know what he's gonna ask me. He's gonna ask me that. You remember that story I told the other night, Jesse, about me and my neighbor tricking my brother into like licking some.
Oh yeah, eating poo.
We just got him to lick it, and he said he knew what was up. I can't, dude. That is the funniest. Like, it tastes just like it smells.
I just want to circle back real quick before we get into too much disgustingness.
Yeah.
All right, listen here, you Catholic. All right, there ain't no saint that stands between me and my Lord Jesus. Okay, me and him will have all kinds of fun talks, and I can't wait to pick his brain about all the cool shit he got to see. But come on now.
I'm not Catholic, by the way. I was never christened.
Oh, you
we shall.
Are you christened by the priest?
I have such sights to show you. Hey, man, look at Anvec. Yes, Diesel. We gotta nerd out sometime, man. I have such abridged sights to show you. Any of you guys know what that's from? What he said. The things.
Well, I have such sights to show you. Yeah, of course.
Hellraiser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, he says
Event Horizon.
Well, yeah, it was in that too. But I think
it might have been. I never watched all the Hellraiser thing, but I watched Event Horizon. I just remember. We have such wonderful things to show you. And that was a messed up movie. That's one of those ones that was written, directed, and put together by Satan. It was like hell in space. That movie was so messed up, dude.
Sam Neill in that
Sam Neill. I was just like, when did Alan Grant become like crazy? And it was like, but then I went back and I watched like the Omen movies, and Sam Neill was in the Omen movies.
Yeah, the first one, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe it was a sequel because he was older. He was meant to be the kid who's grown up or something like that. I watched I watched like me and a buddy of mine he's like, you never seen The Omen? So he's like, he rented all. And yeah, back in the day, kids, when you had to rent things and it wasn't online, had to analog, had to drive to a store and freaking analog car. We couldn't, we had to move things and use your hands to do stuff.
And you could only rent like 7 movies at a time. Yeah. So you had to pick really carefully what 7 movies could we possibly watch this weekend.
Yeah. And especially if you if you rented video games, man, because you didn't know what you were gonna get. I remember we rented, my buddy and I back in high school rented that Terminator 2 game for Nintendo. Boy, that game was a piece of shit. Oh god!
And the shit part about it as well was that you, like, some people would obviously get there before you did, and some shops had only got 1 cartridge of each game. So like you'd go down there to try and rent GoldenEye, which I didn't need to do, but I'm just trying to give them one of the most extreme examples. Some kid had already got there, and he was just renewing it every fucking week, or every every couple of days.
Times.
Yeah.
So
you were never getting it back. That 1 copy was never going to be seen again.
And that was I always heard that was a good game. That's in
GoldenEye. I'm staring at it right now.
That was N64, right?
Yeah. Got my N64 set up right there.
I never had the N64. Yeah. N64 setup was like, the controller had 3 things. I was like, I'm not the T1000. I can't make another arm come out of me to play this thing.
That's because nobody used the left side unless you were trying to switch your camera angles. That's the only thing it was ever used for.
I don't know that. They put an extra handle on it, so I'm going to grab the extra handle.
The best way to play GoldenEye was with 2 controllers, because a lot of people didn't know that you could actually use the analog stick on 2 controllers, so you could control the pitch and the yaw on one hand, and you could control the forward, backwards, side to side on the other.
I did not know that.
Like kind of like a modern game.
So you plug 2 you plug 2 N64 controllers into it, and you just use the center joystick on both controllers.
Did you do that? Cool. That is hardcore, man. You did that. I don't know how in the world you juggled that, man.
It's the same as using an analog controller on the PlayStation, right?
It's 2 sticks. It's just 2 triggers and 2 sticks.
Yeah, but that's 2 giant, weird 3-handled N64 controllers, man. I can't wrap my head around one.
Of course, all the professional speedrunners will also tell you, though, that you didn't ever really need to use the second controller, because the trick is that what they would do is they would push the 1 controller stick up into the right corner and tape it down, right? And then they just use the other controller to sort of turn as they needed to, sort of thing, right? And that's to speed run it so that it's constantly looking down at the ground, right? So that the frame rate stays high. Yeah. And so they can get through all the, the level really quickly whilst just continually running. And always don't forget, paint a red dot right in the middle of your screen as well, because it didn't have a proper reticle. So you had to paint a little red dot in the middle of your screen, so you knew where the center of your screen was. Perfect timing.
Yeah, man, the speed runs are crazy, dude.
Yeah, speed runners are always impressive, and those are always where we get all the coolest tricks. It's like, hey, you want to know how to do this? Yeah, guess what? It was this speed runner that beat the game in 3 minutes and 37 seconds. What the fuck?
That's like
those guys that beat Elden. Well, those guys beat Elden Ring. Like the first one, he beat it in like 12 minutes, and then the next one beat it in like 6.5.
It's dude, that's you're not even enjoying the game.
I've got like 85 hours, and I'm not even halfway through this.
Oh, yeah, no, dude. I'm like 85, 90 hours, and I'm just like out in the middle of a field farming shit for levels.
Yeah, man.
I'm constantly scared the next fucking big thing that walks by is just gonna one-shot kill me, even though I did the thing, farmed that little bird off in the corner like 10 million times. It's like, all right, I'm good now. I go back to the opening scene and the guy on the horse just yeets me.
That would be me. Like when I play the game, I'll be like, man, look at this thing. That looks cool. And I'll be over there looking at the thing, for a while. That's like this game streaming. It'd be, yeah.
I actually really like that. It's something that I really enjoy about games, and that I've enjoyed about games as they've progressed through time, was the sort of progress of graphics. And another thing that I like to do is to walk around the map and find glitches and find tiny little, nooks and crannies, where people wouldn't normally go. It's like I got that only up the other day, and the first thing I did before I started going anywhere up was just like wandering around and like seeing if there was any way that you could get off the map, because it's just what I do. I just try to fuck around with it.
That's cool. Hey, thank you, Anvac, and I'm sure you're memeing on my tiny mustache.
This is gonna be great. Oh god.
Oh man, I kept adjusting it until I was just like, okay, I'll just go with the devil look today.
I've over-adjusted it now. Oops.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll grow out in another couple of days or something.
You just really, all you got to do, Diesel, is strain really hard, like push it out like Play-Doh.
Yeah. Remember when Beavis and Butthead, they were like, we got to grow beards, man. So they were like, well, let's try watering it. That was one of the funniest things. And then they like cut their hair and glued it to their face. And they were walking around like, hey baby.
Yeah, they're on, baby.
Like,
these are glorious.
Yeah, man, the Beavis and Butthead,
new
you don't
episodes
know
were
it.
pretty damn good. I was surprised.
It was just the 90s when that show came out. Like, it was like, oh man, I was smoking a lot of weed and stuff, man. And they would have those Beavis and Butthead marathons, and it was like 24 hours of Beavis and Butthead. To be staying up all night, like dying, laughing, like shit is fucking funny, man. Yeah. It was on the surface, it was stupid, but it was different. It was like there was a little bit of a depth to it. It wasn't just total stupid.
I think the thing is, when you're younger, you do find stupid, like potty humor and, just really ridiculously stupid humor more objectively funny. When you get older, you get a little bit cynical, but you also get a little bit more, I don't know, witty. Do you get what I mean? It's like, it's the difference between sort of like hack comedians and, cultured comedians, do you know what I mean, who can actually tell a good joke and it be funny rather than just have to rely on the smut of it. Do you get what I mean? But when you're younger, you do enjoy those more stupid, ridiculous forms of comedy.
Mm-hmm. And I think Mike Judge, he's got a really good balance. So if you look at his resume, I mean, from Beavis and Butthead, and it aside from all the smut and everything else, it's got some good commentary on, especially the new episodes. Good social commentary. Then King of the Hill, Idiocracy, Office Space.
Oh yeah, I mean Idiocracy and
masterpiece. Office Space was one of the funniest things I'd ever seen, man. Because we were, of course, it always helps about smoking weed. Be right back. See you, and back. Enjoy yourself. I can't smoke it no more. I literally smoke myself retarded. But
no,
that was the booze.
Yeah, man. It was just like, you have smoked yourself retarded.
I don't smoke.
I never liked it. All my friends did. I got no problem with it. It's not my bag. It
got me off the booze because I have a real problem sleeping. Like my mind's one of those that just doesn't shut off. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's one of the reasons why
that.
I run at the mouth so damn fast. And like I was literally a functioning alcoholic for almost a decade, and it almost killed me. And so it's like one of those. It's like the booze, the CBD and the cannabis and all that kind of stuff is what keeps me sane and keeps me able to sleep and not be up for 3 days. Because like even the pharmaceuticals and shit never did nothing for me. So
see,
and I can't get stupid on CBD or on cannabis. I just can't. Like I could smoke a lot and I still do better than all the drunks on the stream.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that works. It doesn't work for me. Like when my back was all jacked up, dude, and like my spine, like one of them was like that and pinching a nerve. And my best friend was like, "Hey man, try one of these Delta 8 gummies." And I took that thing, and then all of a sudden I was just like, next thing I know, I was in Debo's chicken coop. Couldn't nobody get me out but my mama.
Yeah, you don't ever give Delta 8 to an addict. No.
It just don't work. The weed feeling don't work for me no more. I smoked like truckloads back in the day, but it's like I think it just makes me all introspective and paranoid. So I'm just
same. I get trapped inside my head and just can't.
Oh,
shut it.
Yeah,
I
some
don't need
people
to be-
some people get real bad, like, and that's kind of on the same lines as like the paranoia stuff. Is just kind of getting trapped inside your own
paranoia.
head.
Yes.
Yeah, and like Delta 9's real bad about that too. That's kind of one of the things I like about the fact that we've got access to all the rest of the cannabinoids now. Because each one of them, even if they're psychoactive, they all still do a little bit of a different thing. So like Delta 8 acts differently than Delta 9, whereas Delta 10 acts differently than Delta 8, and so on and so forth, going all the way down through the list. So that's kind of the fun part about being able to like mix and match them. You can kind of get it to like zoned into right where you want it. But once again, it's not for everybody. It's not.
Yeah, I just can't. Any of that weed just has the same effect, whether I was smoking pot or taking one of those gummies or whatever. It all has the same kind of introspective thing. So like, no, I had to cut. It is a good thing too, man. You know, because I can't drink or smoke or none of that stuff, man. Like I'm allergic to alcohol. Every time I drink, I break out in handcuffs. So hey, Jesse's got some sound effects. That's one of my favorite jokes. It's hilarious and true at the same time.
Yeah, I got my buttons. We'll get you set up with buttons. Don't worry.
The first time I got a DUI, man, I was in my old muscle car and the cop got behind me. And I think for some reason I thought I was in the Dukes of Hazzard. So I hit the gas. I was like, I'll outrun him. And then the other part of my brain, the sane part, like knocked out the idiot part that had a stranglehold on me and was like, what the hell are you doing, you dumbass? He knows what you... So I pulled over and everything. And he pulled over. The cop was he's like, yeah, I heard you get on it when I got behind you or whatnot. And he was just like, but I think you figured out what was what. He even put the club on the steering wheel for me. I was like, that's so nice. If you weren't carrying me to jail, I'd appreciate it.
You're my best friend.
Yeah, man.
You're a lucky motherfucker, Diesel.
Do what? Yeah.
You're a lucky motherfucker.
Blessed.
Good evening. Hi, I'm Officer.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck. Obi-Wan was right about that. But like, wait a minute, I forgot what I was gonna say. That's what happens, man, when you do all of these things. Drugs are bad, kids. But like no handcuffs. That's like I had a girl one time talking about handcuffs, and she was like, yeah, I put handcuffs on. I'm just like, you're not putting handcuffs on me. Well, you're just not into it. And I'm just like, no, you've just never been arrested. I ain't getting handcuffs on me ever again if I can handle it. You just don't know what you're missing. And I'm just like, let me tell you something. If somebody tries to put handcuffs on me, I'm going to be having DUI flashbacks. Get the fuck off me, man.
Yeah, don't just.
I don't care if they're furry handcuffs. They're still handcuffs. And that
just don't have handcuffs on. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I can't handle it. It makes me claustrophobic, man.
Even if you trust this
Common
person,
nerd just like
even if you trust this
Jesse
person,
don't mind
right?
the handcuffs, I guess.
And the thing is, even if you trust this person, the problem is you can be stuck there for a very long time.
Yes.
If they just decide to fuck off. Or what happens if they put the handcuffs on you, they go to have sex with you or whatever, and they die right there in front of you, and now you're stuck to the bed. Yeah.
And
maybe they weren't really that trustworthy anyway.
You got a dead body
That's why
with you too, man.
That's
and
why
like,
you stick with like the leather strap ones and stuff, because the leather strap ones, I mean, theoretically, yeah, exactly. You can at least chew through those ones. Yeah, the metal handcuffs, and they're uncomfortable too. They leave marks, and then you got to explain it to people. And
just trying to do this, to get them in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Would probably like rip my shoulder apart.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's what most of us do.
That was horrifying. What was it?
Gerald's game.
I'm not exactly sure how to take this, but I think that's cool.
Diesel is my grandpa. He's white.
Let me tell you a grandpa story, man. Back when I was like,
well, you are from Alabama.
Yeah. My uncle, daddy, and the family secrets.
I need a banjo sound. That's what I need.
No, that's Kentucky.
Be right back, guys.
Okay.
Speaking of grandpa, check this out, man. Like right after high school, I believe, I used to go to youth, man, and there were some cute girls there and everything. And like I was talking to Jesse, I'll give you one. It was a redhead, right? It was friends with it, but she didn't go to our church. But I was always like talking to her friends and stuff like that in case maybe something worked out. I remember like I had acquired a lot of the cologne from back in the day, man. Like the little, like Brute and some of the others. It was like Old Spice and different flavors of it in there. And one of them was Old Spice Musk. And I'm just like, oh, that smells kind of musky. So I put that on, went to youth, and this girl was like, Diesel, you smell like my grandfather. And I immediately went home and got all of that shit through it. No, that's the worst thing you could ever hear from a cute girl. You smell like my granddad. And I'm just like, oh my God. That's it. Trashed all of that stuff. And now it just got awkward. Just imagine smelling like your grandfather, kids.
Well, sometimes you do. I mean, because like I remember when he used to wear his own cologne, and you'd go over there with your parents, and then he'd give you a hug or whatever. And my granddad, he had this propensity to like have a shave. He'd grow his stubble out a little bit, and then he'd get his stubble and rub his chin all over my cheek. Do you know what I mean? He'd do that
like
just
sandpaper.
Yeah, precisely. He'd do it just on purpose. He'd say, "Come here, kiss a kiss," and then he'd rub his chin all over your cheek like that instead.
I remember the first
but
time.
then you'd get his cologne on you, wouldn't you? So you'd smell like your granddad all day.
I remember the first time, man, I experienced that, like, sandpaper face on a dude. We had a VOAG teacher, like vocational agriculture, and he was like this country hoss beast of a guy. And we did something where we had to stay overnight somewhere, and we got in a pool, and everybody tried to wrestle him. And I just remember my arm scraping up against his face at one time, and it was just like, I was like, what the hell is that?
And it was in the water as well. That's even worse. Because you know what it feels like when you're in the bath, if you've ever had an itch, you can feel the roughness on the back of your hand there after you've had a shave.
Yeah,
it's things that girls don't have to go through, eh?
Yeah, I was like, it was weird because I was just like, oh God, I thought I was going to draw blood. I was like, what the hell is going on with your face? And it took me a little bit. Oh, okay, that's right. And then kids, after you get that, you can grow a stupid little short mustache like that. How about that?
It's not bad, mate.
I know everybody's giving me shit. It's cool. And it don't show up.
It's just so dark. It's just so dark compared to like the rest of your face, and then the hair on top of your head.
This is all white and everything like that. And this is man, my shit is never matched right.
You need to get it out in the sun a little bit and get that bleach color to it, like the top of your head. Maybe that'll help make it look a little better.
Yeah,
wear it out while you're working on the decks.
I think I do, but I don't think it's not going to help, man. This is all gray down here and white, so
yeah, I'm getting salt and pepper in my beard now. Little bits of white starting to come through.
I did hear.
I just get like straight white ones that come out every once in a while.
Yeah. That's how it starts, mate. You're just a few years behind me by the sound of it. That's what I had. Just
I'm pretty sure it's probably just
white ones.
Like, I'm pretty sure it's just going to end up going straight white. I think is what's probably going to, because I haven't found like a gray one. It's literally, they've all just been white.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
It is weird. But yeah, with a bit of salt and pepper, I'm going to look like fucking Pepe Le Pew. I've got Pepe Le Pew on my face soon, you know.
Oh, that's going to be fucking hilarious. We got to get you a skunk costume. That'll be stuff. That'll be absolutely hilarious.
It's only in my beard, though. I haven't found it anywhere else.
Oh, yeah?
No grey hairs on my head or anything. I'm blonde anyway, but I've found no grey hairs on my head. You know, it's not in my eyebrows. It's not anywhere else. Just that little strip there.
Yeah, no, I'm getting those little ones. What do they call them? The little white. I don't know what they call them around the ear when you get them, but just like those little white ones come through. Yeah, I remember reading a book one time that a chick referred to them as something, but I can't remember what it's called. They had a word for it. But when you start to get those little white spot right
there
coming down,
and just right here and here, but once my beard fills out, you can't really see it as much.
Yeah, you can't.
That's all gonna change real soon.
You're
gonna look like fucking Orson Welles. You are if you fucking grow the white through your beard there and on the sides of your head. You're gonna I bet you'll get a couple of stripes across the top of your head as well. You look like fucking Orson Welles.
Dude, Orson Welles would be dope.
I got gray all over the place, man, but it's cool because I heard from like one of my friends, she was just like, yeah, I like a little bit of gray on a dude, in the beard and stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, cool. You know, men age like wine, and women kind of age like bread.
Vinegar.
Depends on what type of woman you get.
You're
Some
right
of them
about
do,
that, man.
Some of them do. Some of them it'll hit them like a truck at like 35 or 40, and then some of them won't do shit until like 60 or 65. Like they're all a little bit different. Always got to check what their mama and their grandma look like. Always a wise choice.
That is true, man. Like a lot of times,
that's advice for all you young bucks out there.
Asians go from like 35 or 40 to like, I don't know, 60 sometimes.
And the Spanish women tend to do that. They're really hot up until about 26. As soon as they turn 27, that's it. They turn into fat, hairy, dumpy Spanish women.
Oh
just
yeah,
waddle around.
like Asians won't age until like they're 55, and like they turn 56, and it'll literally just hit them all at once in their face. I've got like some Asian family members. I swear it's happened to every one of them. It's so weird. And then you have
Talking about Fierce is getting a bit offended, I think.
What? About what?
I don't know.
What happened?
Yeah, I got to be careful with this. My wife's right there. So.
No. I was just no, man. There's like, listen, I dated a Hispanic woman that was like a little older back in the day, and she was fine. You just keep in shape, you good to go.
Oh yeah, no, there was a chick back in my crazy days that was like in her like late 40s. She was like 48, but she had a lot of the Spanish, kind of more the Indian in her, and yeah, she looked amazing. So
listen, the last thing on the earth that I want to incur is the wrath of Tiny but Fierce. There's fierce in that name for a reason.
Yeah, for a reason.
I've heard her go off on stuff, and I do not want to be on the receiving end of that ever.
I love watching those rants. Those are great. I just kind of like sit back and chill. Like, let her go.
Yeah,
let her go.
She is He's
trying to take that. He's trying to take that pickaxe he was digging a hole with, and he's trying to claw it at the side of the hole and like lift himself up.
I'm trying to pull it out of my back.
Well, you fell down to the bottom of the hole and it just happened to fall in after you, or what?
Yes, I am backtracking like hell. I'm backtracking. I'm moonwalking backwards. This is hilarious, man. This is so much fun. Thank all of you for hanging out in the chat and coming in. This is a blast, dude. I should have done this sooner.
We tried telling you. How many times did we try telling you?
Yeah, I know, dude. But you know, I'm stubborn. I be stubborn.
And look how easy it was. Look how easy.
I know, right? I love the fact that you're just like, oh, you can do this, and I'm just reading. I'm just like, man, you can be retarded to do this. It's cool.
And if you don't want to do like just videos on top of doing the live streams, you can always just clip out funny parts that you like and just make shorts and upload those.
Yeah, and actually there's some software that if your videos aren't really more than like an hour long or something, and even if they are an hour long, you can still do more, but you're not going to get much more than an hour out of this system because it's a free service. But yeah, you can just take, and even if the video is unlisted, it doesn't matter. You just take the link and drop it into this little the AI, Fox AI. It's not real AI, but the little algorithm, and it'll chop up in the videos and listen to all your stuff, and it'll chop it up into like 30 to 60-second clips. So,
that's cool.
I've been messing with that when I've had some particularly decent rants on my morning streams. I'm like, ooh, I had some good ones in there. Let's see if we can pull those out. So,
Hale is younger and smarter than all of you, except maybe Iron Oxide. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I kind of think this is directed at me, but it's cool. I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with. Listen, I am a recovering alcoholic. I do have a little bit of excuse because I got some brain damage, self-inflicted brain damage, but brain damage nonetheless. Yay. Hey, look who came back from the smoke break. What's up, Anvac?
There you go. Open Texas dumpster caught me unaware. Probably karma for me. He
put a bunch of
Open Texas dumpster.
Hey man, you put a bunch of read your last comment. Oh, I know what. Here we go.
The one before that. Good point.
Be like Jesse from Breaking Bad coming out the window.
There you go. One of my grandfather's friends, that was his favorite. That was one of his favorite things to say. He's like, I hope to die at the ripe old age of 80, shot in bed by a jealous woman's husband.
Yeah, man. Oh, forget you. I'm old as dirt. I am old as dirt, man. I just don't look.
Well, yeah, so's Nightwing.
Yeah, we're both old as dirt, man. That's why do you think I know about Transformers from the 80s, man? I lived it.
He was there when it
I
happened.
am old, man. Dirt asked me for life advice.
He was born into it, molded by the early.
Born into oldness, molded by it. In fact, I didn't see a video game until the 80s, and then it was bullshit Atari. We played Pong and lawn darts.
That's fucking hilarious.
Lawn darts, holy shit.
Dude, lawn darts.
Survived lawn darts.
Yeah, no, let me
That's
tell
how
you
know
what.
it's going
Let
back.
me tell you what my friend, he was my best friend growing up, and he was kind of.
That's gotta be clipped.
Dude, it was. He had lawn darts, right? Which were basically just metal spikes with wings that you could like throw at people. They were like guided javelins, sharp, pointy things. So he was like, he couldn't figure out what to do with them. So his idea was just to throw them up in the air and dodge them when they came back down. So that's what we did. We made lawn darts even more deadly.
Why it's follow the instructions.
My stepdad tells a story that they used to play a game of cowboys and Indians with lawn darts, and that just essentially meant throwing the darts at each other's feet.
Man.
And the one day he caught his brother's heel with one, so he had this dart sticking out of the back of his heel.
Oh, that hurts just listening to it.
Dude, those things are like this big with like a point on them that's like that, dude. They are spears. It's like a smaller guided javelin. And they had
I don't think these were that big. They were only small things like regular sized darts, perhaps.
Oh,
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what they were using, just regular dartboard darts.
Yeah, the lawn darts were like that.
Yeah,
They were a little
dude.
before my time, but we found some old rusted out ones in my grandpa's garage, and
Wow.
that's fun with those.
Well, happy birthday to you, brother. I'm a couple of years younger than you, but not many.
Well, wait
Lawn
until you get
dart
to my age.
I'm probably older than you.
You're not older than 638, mate.
Oh, well, that's right. That's right. I think you told me that the other night that you were 638.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it like, man, on the Titanic?
Oh, it didn't go down too well.
Yeah. That's another thing I'm kind of obsessed with too, man. I've got all kinds of like yeah, that's pretty good. Hold on a second.
All right.
Are you going to bring back a poster of the Titanic movie now? Is it going to be like Jack and Rose when you switch the camera back on? Or are you going to surprise us with a charcoal drawing of you? Oh no, okay.
No, actually, I have some. Actually, for a
draw me like one of your French girls, Jack.
I've got several books like this that was given to me, man. Actually, when I graduated college, like one of my gifts from my best friend, the dude with the lawn darts, his mom, she gave me coal that came from the Titanic.
No,
because she knew that. Yeah, it's got it's in a box. I've got it stored back, and it's got like a certificate and authenticity. I read A Night to Remember when I was in.
Do you like
grade.
the Titanic then? Do you like the Titanic then?
Yes,
and the history of it and the mystery around it.
It's something about that thing, man. Just the shape of it. It's so symmetrical.
Yeah, I agree. It's beautiful. Have you gone to the museum yet?
No, I haven't. But I have seen, like, I'll tell you what it was that got me. That show Voyagers from the 80s. It was like these people would go back in time. They had a little dial thing, and they went on the Titanic. And I remember him showing it sinking. And I remember saying to my buddies, Mom, that could never happen. And she was like, it did.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, and so I started reading up on it and everything. I remember when they found it, I was like heartbroken that it was broken half and just all busted up because I had seen a movie like called Raise the Titanic, and I just kind of thought it was laying down on the bottom of the ocean, all pristine, like it was, but it's like it's an unrecognizable mess.
Yeah,
Just,
and the thing about it is it's constantly being eroded. You know, so it's going to be a pile of just nothingness
iron ore
in the next
deposit.
50 years.
Yeah, it'll be an iron ore deposit. Man.
Yeah, but it's something ingrained in British sort of history, and like you hear about it almost every year. There's always a documentary about it on like Channel 5 every fucking year. This marks like the 120 fucking. Oh, it's not that long, is it? Is it?
No, it is.
Yeah.
It's
It is
110.
about,
It's 110. It's 111. April 15th, 1912. So April 15th.
So every April 15th, you
2023.
get a new documentary on Channel 5, and they're just talking about the same things as they did last time. But maybe there's a few new things that they throw in there. You know, like maybe they'll throw in the recent Titan sub in the next documentary.
When you go through the museum, I went to the one in Missouri, which was, it's literally shaped like the boat. When you go in, they hand you your name, and then when you go through that, you know, at the end of it, you see if you lived or died, which is kind of sick. But no, I get really emotional in there because it, you know, you see people's their clothing and baby stuff, and it's really, really hard to see. And then there's a point where you put your hand in the water and it shows how cold it is.
Cold.
You can't even stand it. I mean, it's heartbreaking.
It's below freezing because salt water
I don't
won't
know.
freeze. It can get below freezing temperature.
Yeah,
it's
very, very
that's
emotional.
That's one of the things that James Cameron's movie. I didn't care for the movie because I know the story so well that the two characters just stood out like a sore thumb to me. But that part when it's Jeanette Goldstein is putting those little kids to sleep in the bed, that killed me, dude. It still kills me just telling them it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, telling them a fairy tale as they go to bed.
That's gonna choke me up thinking about it, dude. That was awful.
Yeah,
and the fact that one thing is like, and I think some of the people on one of the documentaries talking about it, it's just like you had like 2.5 hours or whatever for this drama to play out. That's one of the things. It didn't happen fast, it was slow, and all the things that and coulda, woulda, shoulda, and you know, all that kind of thing. Whatever.
Luckily it happened slow though. Luckily it happened slow. If it had happened any quicker, they would have gotten
no one off of it.
No survivors.
They actually, if they'd have plowed straight into the iceberg, it wouldn't have sank.
If they would have gone head on, like
head on, it wouldn't have sank. It would have just crushed a few of the compartments in the front, and they wouldn't have flooded. But when it grazed it, it popped the rivets along so many of them. I think it was the first 5 or 6 compartments, and just physics and gravity, man, pulled it under. Yeah, and it's crazy, man. But like people talk about, oh, it was the brittle steel. Oh, it was this, man. If you run an aircraft carrier into it, that thing was built like a battleship. The Titanic was. If you ran like a battleship and scraped the side of a friggin' iceberg, you're gonna tear a hole in that because that's just an immovable object. Yeah, I've gone deep into it, man. I read that book, A Night to Remember, which is basically what everything is based on, when I was in 5th grade. And I'm like, who in 5th grade reads that? Well, apparently I do.
Have you seen some of
I had to go turn the air on. They make it, my thermostat, they can change it, you know.
Yeah, they turn it off on us.
They turn it off.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's called rush hour, and they do it to conserve energy. And I literally looked because I was like, I feel sick. It's really hot in here. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. It's
85, isn't it?
degrees. No, 60. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna pass out.
Wow.
So it's got to be. It's got to be higher than that. You looked at it.
Maybe I looked at it wrong.
Yeah.
Is it 86?
Yeah, it's 86.
It probably was 86. I just looked at. I mean, I feel.
I just checked the temperature in here.
Dude, that just put a damper on my coming out to Vegas thing if they're controlling the thermostat.
Oh, you know what? If
Well,
just
you
get a
can
regular
change it. It
thermostat-
just then you're gonna get like dinged on your bill, and it's gonna make it go up even higher.
because ours.
I don't
did.
want
Ours-
anybody
ours-
controlling my anything.
Yeah.
I just be like, you touch the thermostat. That's like, yeah. Listen, my mom and they put they embedded that in. You touch that thermostat. We got other kids. We'll get rid of you and have another.
Well,
one.
my grandpa, that was his career. Putting in and doing refrigeration and air conditioning. And he always said the smartest thing to do is just keep it at the same temperature. Don't make it higher or lower. Just leave it at like 72, 74. And you're going to conserve energy, and your hump's going to stay the right temperature year round.
And it will kick in when it gets really too hot. When you think, I can't stand it, then it'll kick in.
Yeah.
My mom actually had to you explained this the other day when I went to her house and whatnot. I was like, it's hot in here. She's like, it's about to kick on. And then sure enough, boom.
Wait, are you trying to cool it down?
Yeah.
Yes, it got really hot.
Yeah, you see, that's a cultural difference again. That is because when I'm thinking about it, I thought of it from the opposite way. Like, never mind, doesn't matter. Yeah, trying to warm it up. Yeah.
Nah, we're in the desert here, so it gets. I think it was 120 today. So.
Yeah, Christ, no, it gets freezing cold. It's quite cold tonight. I mean, it's been a bit sunny today, but it's quite cold tonight. Yeah, that's why I'm wearing my hoodie.
I do better in a colder temperature. I hate the heat.
I can't wait till the weather changes. The museum is haunted. I believe that. I do.
By what?
It represents the male brain.
Ghosts of the Titanic.
I mean, maybe.
No, come on. It's in fucking Missouri.
There's pieces there. It's literally.
They got one here too.
They've got one here in Vegas too.
That's the only one.
Yeah, I was gonna say isn't there a museum there in Vegas?
Wouldn't there be one up in Newfoundland?
I think there is. They've actually got part of the
Nova Scotia or somewhere around there.
They actually have part. I think they have part of the inside of the Olympic, which was the sister ship in Newfoundland, or it's another ship that was similar in a restaurant or something like that. And they have, I don't think it was the Olympic. I think it was another one that had similar insides to it. And you walk in and it's like, it looks like something that would be on the Titanic. It's from that era. And I think it's from another White Star Line ship. Yeah, it is absolutely mind-boggling. I love the James Cameron's dives though down there. I love that stuff way more.
Oh yeah, that was real interesting.
Like he dropped a giant chandelier down there and lit up the whole thing and went with these little submersibles. Like everybody can say, James Cameron is a genius. The dude is extremely smart. His brother designed these little robots that were tethered by like a fiber optic tether, and they went through all of this stuff and looked through it. I think it was called Ghosts of the Abyss. And it was just
I think it's available. I think it's available on like Netflix or something.
Yeah, it should be
Amazon, something like that.
It's funny because they got Bill Paxton to go down there, and he's like all nervous. And I mean, that's why I knew that submarine when there were like 5 people in there, that Titan. I was like, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna. You got way too much open space. Anyway,
he was one of the first people to know about that. So not Bill Paxton because he's dead, but James. Cameron.
James Cameron. Yeah, he knew that they were gone.
First people who knew about what had happened
because they heard the sound. He's like, it imploded.
Yeah,
but those submersibles that they went down in was about 3 people in there, and Bill Paxton is starting to get kind of freaked out. I would be too, but I think that I could get over my claustrophobia if I went down to see that ship. If there was still anything left of it by the time I could. But Bill Paxton gets down there and he's talking to the guy and he's just like, so is this okay? The oxygen, is this okay? And the guy's just like, it's a Russian guy. And he's like, yes. He's just like, what happens if something happened? He was like, if something catastrophic happens, he's like, we could jettison the batteries and that would allow us to like rise to the surface. he said, the only problem is they're like $85,000 or something like that. And he goes, you take a check?
Funnily enough, I was watching recently because sometimes I have videos on in the background whilst I'm working. So I have videos on YouTube. And recently, one of these ones popped up. I like to watch an old TV program that was on Channel 4 called Time Team. And usually what they do is like archaeology. But they did this special around the time of the releasing of this documentary of his. And so he was doing constant dives down there. And the host of Time Team got to go down there with him. His name's Tony Robinson, and
Tony Robinson, yes.
Yeah, he played Blackadder's idiot sort of sidekick Baldric in in the TV show Blackadder, if ever you've seen it. But he's also played other TV roles as well. Anyway, he went down there with him, and that's actually free to watch on YouTube. Right?
Oh, that was he went down with James Cameron. I think I saw that. Yeah, I saw that when Tony Robinson went down there. I've seen just about all of them. I remember. That's why I remember his name.
Speaking of things that you can watch on YouTube, I thought about it earlier because I like to watch things about the Titanic too. And there are some videos that have appeared of actual accounts from people who were on the Titanic. And these videos were filmed back in the 60s and 50s.
Right.
And it's these people, survivors, who are now old at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so they're talking to the interviewer about their experiences of being on the Titanic, and that is a real experience because it's the real people. They were there. They were there on the night, and you can, and they're from varied backgrounds as well. Some are paupers, and some are real, hoity-toity people, well spoken, But it's very interesting to watch.
I gotta run. Yeah, I gotta run.
Jesse,
it was so nice hanging out with you.
Jesse,
yes, you guys do. I know red wine. Appreciate you guys being. Yeah, it was great meeting you guys and being on stream with you guys the first time. I've seen you guys in chat plenty of times. So it was good.
I'm so glad you got to hang out with him.
Absolutely, man. Diesel, I appreciate you being here, man. I don't think there's anybody in this chat that's not subscribed to me. If you're not, we're throwing the links in the chat anyway, because that's what mods are supposed to do. So appreciate you guys being here. Have fun, Diesel. Congratulations. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. Keep at it. You're going to have a good time. So you guys are great.
I love you, bro. I love you, man.
Take care, man.
All right. Night, guys. I'll see y'all later.
Bye-bye.
See you, man.
He's super cool.
Jesse is one of the coolest dudes on the planet, man. Like, he invited me on his stream when he started it, and I've been on there ever since then. He's just like, yeah, you want to come live stream the Winding Down Wednesday? It was just he and I, and he has built it up so he keeps having
he's got a good
these independent
good shows. Yeah,
he has these independent creators on there, and he gets all on. He had, I think it was John. Oh God, what is the guy's last name? He was a stunt guy. He was the stunt coordinator for Nefarious.
Oh,
that movie Nefarious, and that guy has been in so many movies. He was in Predator 2. He's been in parts of Tango and Cash, all of this stuff, man. And he was like telling these stories, and I'm just like, dude, tell me about Predator 2. And he's like, you like Predator 2? I'm just like, yeah, I love it. Because I actually love Predator 2 because it's like they come out with different weapons for that thing. And it's not that bad, especially considering.
I don't hate it. I mean, Predator 1's, of course, a classic, but I got no hate for Predator 2. I never have.
It's actually based on Concrete Jungle, which was I believe a comic storyline where it comes to the city and stuff like that. It's very loosely based on it. But he was one of the guys in the subway car before they killed Bill Paxton. Just gets ripped up through the ceiling. That was him.
Oh damn!
Is it John Cann? Maybe. I'll tell you something that's really funny. Is we got the Joel Schumacher stories about him and everything. He says he was on, I forget what it was. Maybe it was one of the Batman movies where he was, or one of his, I think that's right. It was maybe it was a Batman Forever. It was something like that. It was one of those Batman movies. And one of his stunt guys goes, in the middle of this, goes, if you don't stop grabbing my ass, I'm going to beat the living shit out of you. And it was Joel Schumacher kept grabbing on him, man, and stuff like that. The dude he had enough and was just like, I'm going to kick your ass.
Why did he keep grabbing his ass?
Because he's like a flaming gay dude and he's a groper.
No way, man.
Yeah.
Wow, I had no
Boundary
idea.
issues. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently he doesn't mind doing that stuff.
Weren't we talking about unwanted physical contact earlier?
Yep.
Or was that on a different stream?
Must have been another one. I don't remember.
Is that a stream I watched? Fucking hell, man. I gotta stop smoking.
It's like
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that reminds me of something.
It was a stream I wasn't even part of.
There was one, if I
Oh,
can
man.
find this thing, is like this guy's like, I'm
Yeah.
high as hell, and he's just like, yeah, me too. Oh shit, that's me. He was talking to I had that thing. I thought it was so dang funny. Oh yeah, here we go. This is hilarious.
Oh.
Oh shit, that me.
That's fucking me, that is. Jesus Christ.
I had to put that on my phone and send it to my family, man. It's just it trips up. It's so funny. Oh shit, I'm high as fuck. Me too. Oh shit, that's me.
Sorry, dogs are going crazy in the other room.
You have to take the doggos out for a walk.
Yeah, it's looking that way. Grab some dinner. You going on MSK later?
Yeah, I should be.
Yeah, he's starting at
If he-
8.
No, it's
Jack,
not
are you
like-
going? Are you going to be there? Or
If
probably
he's,
really late for you.
I don't know. When's he starting?
8 o'clock.
Yeah, so about an hour from now. A little over an hour.
Okay. That'll be 4 o'clock in the morning. No, probably
Oh,
not.
boy.
No.
Yeah,
It's,
I
five,
have to be able
it's 10 to 3 now.
They're driving me nuts. I gotta walk them.
John Can, that's the dude's name.
John Can. I'll have to watch his video on that. I try to catch all of his, but work
Yeah, it's
and everything. If I don't catch him live, I usually go back and backtrack.
It's been
Yeah,
a
I do
while
follow
since
him.
we had him on there, and he tells stories, especially about what a piece of dog shit that Steven Seagal is. You
I
can
love
go back and listen to that, what he says. I was just like, dude, I would have. Just listen to the story that he says about, like, dude stepping on his back and just digging his heel into his back while he was down, like, for a stunt. And he's just like, I will never work for that son. I'm just.
That's not the first one I've heard from a lot
Yeah.
of
Oh yeah, man. I mean, somebody should have beat the holy hell out of him in Minecraft. Oh, hey, Aaron, what's going on? You got is that new with the screen going on behind you, dude? Or maybe I can just see it now because
No, I think it's just maybe have it a little more well lit. No, I always got that. Just got
I
a
think
little cheap TV. I was like, yeah, I got a place for that.
with the bigger, with it, all of us bigger, I can see it a little bit more in detail.
Oh yeah,
You're looking a little bluer today too on there.
It's all the lighting.
Hey, I love
those strip
I
lights,
love
man, they
blue,
don't
man.
fuck around.
Is it what did you say? Stripper lights?
Those strip lights that I got up on. The
Oh,
corner,
strip lights.
those things are intense. I thought they'd just be like a little like. No, man, they light up the whole room. That's all I got on it.
Another quick story about John Can. He said that they were on this. Maybe it was for something like I don't know if it was Walker Texas Ranger. Or it was one of the things that Chuck Norris was on, and this guy was like, "I want him to roundhouse kick me in the chest. I just got to do it." And he was like stubborn about it. You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. And finally, Chuck
Just
Norris.
for fun.
Yeah, just because he just wanted Chuck Norris to kick me, and he's just like, all right. So Chuck Norris, jumps up and does the boom, knocks this dude down. He's like, He didn't even like kick him all the way, dude. It was like,
Yeah, I
holy.
believe that.
Chuck Norris is a for real badass dude. He kicked the dude, and he's like, it's almost like he crushed his sternum. He couldn't. Yeah, Chuck Norris is badass. That's why all those Chuck Norris memes come up. But I was just like,
They're all true.
yeah, they are all true. Even when he was in like the Expendables, he was just like, Stone's like, you died of a snake bite. He's just like, yeah, after 3 days of suffering, the snake finally died.
Chuck Norris used to be a man trapped inside a woman's body, and then he was born.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's hilarious. I think you said that the other day.
It's not my joke. That's a meme I saw on Twitter. I'm not taking credit for it.
Yeah, well, I'm giving you credit for it because you spread the love to me, man.
But yeah, Chuck Norris is a badass, and Steven Seagal has more hair now than he did back in the 80s.
Yep.
Steven Seagal is a piece of shit. Just the stuff that I heard. I remember he heard like a bunch of women like in his basement or something. This dude was married to Kelly LeBrock at one time, man. Like freaking Weird Science.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the have you seen some of his latest hits? Because he went into producing, didn't he? Like all through the 90s up until now, he's been doing a lot of movie producing, being executive producer, and they're really some quality pieces of art.
Right. The last thing I saw him in was Machete, I think.
Oh no, because he's got his own independent little things that he likes to do, usually involving some Russian mob. And he's the hero cop who's been disgraced, or he's like been pulled back out of retirement, or I don't know. It's
same stuff. It's the same story over and over again. It's funny, man.
You know what was actually good was Jean-Claude Van Damme's series that's like a parody of his life.
Oh, I want to check
actually
that
a secret agent. And
I have not seen that.
Parried it up. It's a comedy. It's one of the funniest shows. I don't think it made it more than a season, but it was incredible.
I thought it was a movie, man, or something like that. No, it's
a series, man. It was funny as hell.
He's making fun of himself, right? He's parodying his life. That's hilarious. Yeah. What's funny, about Machete? See, Robert Rodriguez, I always kind of liked Robert Rodriguez. I didn't care for like the Book of Boba Fett, but I think he was so constrained with that nonsense show that he had to do what, he can only work with so much. But it's hilarious because did you ever watch the Grindhouse movie like Planet Terror? And I loved, and he did the music for Planet Terror. Yeah. And I love it.
That's one of my favorite movies.
The best part of you can tell when Robert Rodriguez is behind the helm and when Quentin Tarantino is behind the helm. It kind of changes and goes a little bit more ludicrous when Tarantino's in there. But like, I loved friggin' Planet Terror was great. I mean, it had Michael Biehn in it.
I love Planet Terror was awesome. Both of the what are they? The ones with Antonio Banderas.
Desperados.
Desperado 1 and 2, and the one after it wasn't called Desperado 2. It had a totally different name with Johnny Depp and Johnny.
Yeah, Depp. Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Oh yeah, I have seen that, man. What's funny and hilarious for the Grindhouse things? They had a trailer from Machete. Machete shows up in the Spy Kids movie.
Yeah, he does.
It was that stuff. They had so many. He had so many people in the Spy Kids movie. It was Bill Paxton, Ricardo Montalban.
It was so bad, though. It was so cheesy. It was
terrible. But I watched it so many times with my daughter because it would be on TV when she was young, and it was
Ricardo Montalban Khan, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. He was in there, and what's that dude from that was in Big Lebowski? Oh God, he's been in so many things. Donnie, whoever was Donnie.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi was in there and everything, and Bill Paxton was like, "It's game over, man, game over," and stuff. And like, it was funny. And then they're like, for family. And then Danny Trejo shows up as Machete and goes, "Familia."
Man, Danny Trejo is cool as hell. I love Danny Trejo.
He actually, do you remember that meme that came out? And it was a while back about Epic Beard Man, that old dude that like this guy kept messing with him on the bus, and he like
ambulance. I need an
ambulance. Danny Trejo did an entire movie called Badass, and it was based on that. It was based on that meme. I'm just like, that's hilarious. Indeed, Maria, I am. Hey, Maria is another. That's a super nice, super, super awesome person.
Dude, I actually wrote a short story a long time ago with Danny Trejo in mind for the lead character. Like a guy who defects from the cartel and just starts a normal life, opens like a car dealership. His daughter gets married, and then her husband gets killed. And this guy's like grandpa age at the time. And he has to kind of the mystery, kind of finding out, going back to his old, violent ways. Kind of there were a lot of those old men killing people movies at the time when I wrote it. So, but yeah,
that's cool, man. That sounds like an awesome type story. That's yeah, you can see. Have you ever seen Nobody?
Oh, love that movie.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That movie's great.
Bob Odenkirk is man. I love Better Call Saul.
Mm-hmm.
Vince Gilligan. See, I'd say out of everything, my favorite television show of all time is probably The X-Files. Because, like, I grew up in the 90s, man, and The X-Files was every Sunday and stuff. It was just so cool, man. And I've watched through it, like, so many times. And that Vince Gilligan, that was him, doing X-Files. Then he went to do Breaking Bad and then Better Call Saul. And it's just like,
dude, in a minute. See Breaking Bad, the finale in... it was like a graveyard in California.
Yeah, that's right. You had said something about that. That is awesome.
Yep. And then there was a panel. Gilligan wasn't there, but it was Jesse Pinkman, so Aaron Paul, Bryan Cranston, and
got to go in the RV.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Badass.
We had pictures, but I don't know if
I don't know where they are. Yeah,
it's on an actual camera. So
yeah, that's cool that you guys actually did. I think I remember you saying something about that. That is freaking cool. What's great, Better Call Saul in the midst of all this woke stuff. Better Call Saul, just nothing to do with that. It was like this standalone thing that was just fantastically written the way it should be. Keep your stupid.
It's the same as Breaking Bad as well. That was just exactly the same. There was nothing woke about that.
Yeah.
And I mean, Bob Odenkirk has come a very, very long way because he used to do that comedy. He used to do stand-up comedy with David Cross.
Yep.
Yeah, I think.
And then they had that show. God, I can't remember. What
I can't remember the name of it. I've just been trying.
Like Mr. Show, Attack. No, not Attack of the Show. That's
It's got. Until I search it now. Google is your friend, so I guess I'll just have a quick Google.
He was also a writer for SNL for a good long time.
Mm-hmm.
He was more behind the scenes too.
So was Conan O'Brien. Conan O'Brien was the only. Conan O'Brien in the 90s was the greatest thing, man. We used to sit up in college and watch that shit, man.
It was called Mr. Show with Bob and David.
That's Mr. Show.
That
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Hilarious. Oh man, yeah, you gotta binge it out. Funny. It's a great comedy show.
But I like him as a dramatic actor.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's so good, and you'd never think that if he was doing just straight comedy and stuff.
A lot of comedic actors can transition into drama and actually out drama some dramatic actors, but it's rare that you see just a solid dramatic actress or actor go into a comedic role.
Yeah,
without.
It's kind of like Bill Murray. Bill Murray has done some stuff. Yeah, I heard he's
Jim Carrey.
Yep.
Yep.
Shit, I prefer Jim Carrey's serious acting sometimes.
Yeah, Bill Murray, I heard, was kind of an a-hole, and he's the reason that they never got Ghostbusters 3 off the ground. While
I teasing a new film now.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have a sequel to Afterlife. I loved Afterlife.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh
it's
man,
great. I really enjoyed it.
Oh dude, it just brought it. I ain't gonna lie, man. It hit all of the nostalgic points.
Yeah,
and brought some shed some tears, man.
It's full of member berries. It's cool. It's kind of aimed at like young adults, I guess, and kids, because they want to get the merchandising. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a good fun little film. It hits all the member berries, and I enjoyed it. And it's got your boy, is it Paul
Rudd.
Paul Rudd? Yeah, that's his name.
yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, and it's got
I like
Harold
him.
Ramis.
Right.
Bill Murray had this thing with Harold Ramis when they did Groundhog Day. Bill Murray was going
Mm-hmm.
through a divorce, and it's a legendary thing where he just hated Harold Ramis and refused to work with him and stuff like that. It's like you've known people like that. It's just when they have something against someone, they just like they never forgive them, and it's just like you've been burned for life. My ex-wife was like that.
It went on for years until he found out he was in the hospital and wasn't going to make it, and then that's when they last minute salvaged their friendship, and he is there with the past.
That's good.
It's a shame.
I'm glad to hear that.
It took. It's good that it happened, but it's a shame that it took that event for it to happen.
Yeah.
I try not to hold stuff against people for a long period of time. Sometimes it's difficult. Like you could.
Yeah, I prefer to kill them whilst I'm angry with them. That way, I don't have to
deal with it later.
Well, there's certain things like I can forgive people, but that doesn't mean I want anything to do with them. You can forgive them, but it's just like, I still don't want anything to do with them, about certain things. But Ash versus Evil Dead, like Anvac's talking about, that show was fantastic. Bruce Campbell is my buddy in college kept telling me that I've got to watch Army of Darkness, which was originally going to be titled Medieval Dead. I think that would have been a way better title. But I finally watched it, and there's so many great ones. Hey, what's that on your face? And it's like a shovel full of dirt.
Oh, it's one of the most quotable movies of all time.
I was just going to say the beauty of like old movies is that they're so quotable. You do it with your mates. You remember lines from the movies, and you jive it along with one another. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking. It's how, and this is one of the things I was thinking about earlier on. I was talking with my little girl, my little daughter. I was talking with her about something. We was out walking somewhere. And I was just thinking about some things with all these movies that have been sort of and franchises that have been sort of infiltrated with all this new woke nonsense. And we built this whole thing up, as a sort of community, like as a shared interest. It was always nerds and like, I don't know, like you'd get these people turn up at conventions and ask really awkward questions to the people who were actors, and they wouldn't have a fucking clue. But the people who were in the crowd, they didn't really care because they had this, they were so nerdy about it and geeky about it. And the thing that I was thinking about was, in Family Guy, when the New Yorkers go to Rhode Island to see the leaves turning brown, and then they trash the place.
Yeah,
they're like complete fakers. They're complete, they're not there for the lore. They're not there for the beauty of the place. Really, they just want to see the leaves turn fucking red, and then they trash the place whilst they're there, and they're rude to everybody. That's what it's like to see all of these franchises that you love and that you've grown up with, and like you just got this bunch of new people that come in and go, oh yeah, we'll change this, we'll do that, we'll do this, and we'll just leave it in a fucking shambles. And now I don't even want it anymore.
They what they want to do is they want to come in, because they've heard these people like this and like that. We need to get rid of that, and our stuff is better because it's got politics in your face and all this stuff, and we'll tell you.
I love that too because I saw it on a T-shirt, but I think now that I know a little bit about it, I need to make it change to fit me. I don't need to change myself or my outlook to accept this thing for what it is and why people love it. I need it to change for me. That internalized narcissism that just
yes, narcissism. Yes, that is it.
Because you used a great cartoon analogy. I got one too. It's like the episode of King of the Hill where the hipsters move into Hank's buddy, who's the Hispanic guy, and they change everything, and then they even change the fish tacos. It's like they put salmon in the fish tacos, Hank. Salmon. And they were all had this, we're doing this for you, and nobody wanted to change. It was great the way it was. Everybody liked it. Everybody got along, and the hipsters came in and fucked it all up.
And that's how I feel about all these franchises that we grew up with. We built a massive community around it. We built a shared interest and a shared love and adoration, and we made up headcanon, and we had extended universes, and we cared and we nurtured for it all as a group community. And the actors who played in the movies, they didn't give a fuck about the community, and they've never professed to either. They're like, we don't know what all these things what you're asking us. Like how can it be on the Enterprise plan? If that's where the captain's quarters is, and that's where like your quarters is, well, where is the toilet? And it's like, I don't fucking know. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. Do you know what I mean?
Like, Zom 100. You guys ever heard of that? Apparently, they're talking about that. Maria and
Zom 100.
Yeah, interesting.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, you want to check it out?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can you guys give me about 2 minutes? I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. It's Zom 100 is a bucket list of the dead. Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead is a Japanese manga series written by Haro Aso and illustrated by Kataro Kataka. That is a tongue twister, I'll tell you now. There's a few Japanese words which I'm going to mispronounce if I carry this on, but nevertheless, it's a manga series, so take a look if you fancy it. Has anyone on the panel heard of it before?
No,
I hadn't. A lot of the newer anime, I'm just now getting into some of it. But yeah, I've been out of anime and manga for a while, but now's a good time to start.
I mean, I grew up with 2000 AD. That's the comic that I collected. It was like a load of comic strips all in one little magazine, and I enjoyed getting that. And that's where I got into Judge Dredd and other things. And so I never really kind of got into X-Men and Batman or anything like that because I just really quite frankly, I came from a very sort of modest background, so I wasn't able to buy comics like it was going out of fashion. I was able to afford so much with my pocket money.
Right.
And so 2000 AD was the one for me because it had a load of different comic strips in it and you could keep up with them regularly.
I heard of that. It just wasn't as readily available here. We had heavy metal though, so we read a lot of those were good.
I mean, 2000 AD is an anime or manga. I didn't get into anime or manga until about the year 2000. That's when I started sort of like delving into it, So, like, I mean, I'd been around a good 600 odd years before then, and I just never got into manga.
I hate to leave, guys, but I really got to walk the babies. They're going.
No, go right ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for having me on your first stream. I'm so happy you guys.
Congratulations. Keep it going.
I'm sorry. I kept
fired. I'm gonna do it too.
Well, you guys are permanently invited.
Oh, thank you.
Just like Jack, you guys are I can't think of a better way to do something than to have my 3 bestest friends on here. It's freaking fantastic. Much love.
We love you too, and thank you. And congratulations. This is exciting.
Thanks a lot. I'll probably
good to see you guys.
See you guys a little later, hopefully on MSK Stream.
Okay.
Jack, enjoy the few hours of sleep I'm sure you're gonna get.
Try to get some rest. My goodness.
See you soon.
Good night.
See you guys.
Congrats on your first stream, Diesel. I gotta head out and bye to the chat in the panel. Judge Dredd was great. Heavy Metal was great. Zom is fun.
Yeah, I might check this Zom out.
Yeah.
Just looking at it, reading up on it though.
Thank you. real quick, like, thank you, Tiny, for coming in, hanging out. It's always a pleasure to have somebody with such awesome knowledge to come hang out and everything. She's one of the first people I ever met on Twitter, man. Just super nice, knowledgeable person. And I'm sure that I'm in trouble for saying this stuff earlier. He's saying,
maybe not you.
Dog, you do.
So what you want to do now, buddy? I think you've been on 2.25 hours. Do you want to keep the stream going?
Oh, we can go for a little longer if you want to, man. If you need to head out, that's cool.
Well, I mean, it is like it's 3:20 now, so I didn't want to just leave you on your own to finish like up the stream. So, you know, if you're happy to be left on your own, I will go soonish.
I'll tell you what, man. Maybe if we go for like another 5, or maybe 10 minutes, something like that, and I'll just...
Oh, minutes, yeah. If you're saying 5 hours now.
No, not 5 hours.
Yeah, let's go for it, buddy.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. And I'm gonna make you guys like an admin or something on my StreamYard so you can pull up stuff and whatnot. I already made you like mods in the chat, so.
Well, I can still present things from my side. You just have to accept it.
Good night, Tiny. Hell, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you guys hanging out in the chat. It's awesome. I had like 12 likes on this thing, man. That's cool. I mean, I've seen some people and they've been doing stuff and they don't like have 2. This is awesome. You guys are freaking awesome. Jack, you were awesome. I told you back in the day, it was like back in the day. It seems like back in the day because like it's taking me so long to do it that I was gonna.
Yeah, it seems
you
like
had to be on my. You got to be on my first stream, man. And
I'm very honored to be here and to be called your best friend as well. Thank you.
Hey, the honor is all mine, brother. We've been,
If Jesse was here, he'd be saying, "Gay."
Yeah,
so long, gay boys.
So long, gay boys. Yeah,
I got news for you.
Yeah, you and Selena and Iron are just. I'm telling you, man. I take a bullet for all of you. In a heartbeat, I throw myself right in the front. Okay, we're getting too gay here. It's also fun smoking and cracking jokes for Jack. See that smart. Jack is like Norm Macdonald, man. You play this straight, man, and can go on a story for a long time, and then you think it's not gonna. You think it's like, oh well, he's just talking about something, and then all of a sudden it's just like goes right off on the tangent, man. It's just like, whoa, I didn't even. Hey, you were talking about bending some chick over the what in the universe happened to the story?
That story was something like I said to my wife said that she wanted to be a bit more spontaneous, so I pulled down her knickers and bent her over the fridge and fucked her, and that's how I got kicked out of Walmart.
Yeah, that was it. And that's how I got kicked out of Walmart. See, that's what I'm talking about. But you slowed it down.
This time I've told it quickly and without any sort of patter to it. But the last time it was dry
it was slowed down and dry. That's what's
delivery.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's the prestige, dude. The delivery in the end. That's hilarious. That got me too, man. Because you just like, and that's how we got kicked out of Walmart. I'm just like, oh.
You got to work on your British impression.
No, I can do you sometimes, man.
No, you can't.
I can try.
You can try.
And then
I won't mind.
We walked down the street. And I can't do it now that I'm under pressure. But I have.
Yeah, now you're under. Have you been? Wait a minute. Have you been practicing your impression of me when you've been alone?
Sometimes.
Is this something you're going to spring on me later?
I don't know, man. I'll have to do it. See,
a few streams down the line, you're just going to completely copy me like it's a deep fake or something like that.
Well, it's hard to do you because you've got such a unique voice, and you'd think that'd make it easier, but it's like it goes out of my brain when I try to pull it back up to make something, to repeat it, but it's just like,
well, my voice is never always the same. It depends on how I'm feeling at the time and what it is that I'm saying. My voice tends to change. Sometimes I put on my telephone voice, like your posh voice for when you're on the telephone talking to people who you don't know. When it's your mates, you talk a little bit differently. And because I'm from Birmingham anyway, whenever I try to talk like the Queen's English and talk quite, well, sometimes my Brummy accent comes out, and often I'll say British idioms and use slang that a lot of people don't understand. But you got Tiny the other day, weren't it? I said something to Garrett saying that he was going to piss down all week, and Tiny was like, "Oh, what the fuck was it you just said? Is that even English?" And you was like, "Yeah, this is what he says." So you understand what I say anyway. You ain't got no problem hearing what I've got to say.
Yeah, I knew exactly what you were saying. I was like, let me get Jack to interpret. And I'm like, no, wait a second. I know what this is. Because I actually dated.
I know this one.
I know this one, man. I got that reference. I actually dated a woman that was from England. She moved to Alabama, and it was just absolutely, it was great. I messed that one up. But she was an awesome, awesome person. But she would say stuff like, Roger that. And then she would I have to work on my English because it's pretty bad right now. So I'll try not to do it too much until I can get it. But she would say stuff like that. And then she would mix in ain't, like saying ain't. It would be like this proper English accent. And then it would be some Southern redneck that would just kind of work. So it was like a half English, half redneck kind of, or 3/4 English, 1/4 redneck, mixing in a little bit like that, and it was absolutely adorable when she would say it. It was fun. And Vac, thank you for hanging out, brother.
Yeah, good to see you, Anvik.
Yeah, this is cool. This is definitely cool, man.
Yeah. So bi-weekly, does that mean every 2 weeks?
I don't know. I just put a bunch of different time things on there to see
in case.
I just put it on there to see how ridiculous I could make it. First inaugural, bi-weekly, semi-annually, quarterly, and I had 2 or 3 others, but I ran out of space. I was going to say monthly.
It's the bi-monthly sci-fi convention, the bi-mon sci-fi con.
It's the bi-monthly, first inaugural, semi-annually, twice daily, 3 times monthly live stream.
Right, twice a day.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We could probably start doing this on Mondays on a regular basis if that's cool. It seems like not a lot's going on Monday. It's always cool to kick off the week.
Quite frankly, I've been eyeing up Tuesday night as a
Tuesday
because I did start doing my live stream on a Tuesday, and then I had to move it. I had to move it to Wednesday for one reason or another, but that's not happening anymore. So I could change it back to Tuesday night now. But because we're in different time zones anyway. I could do mine first. You could do yours after anyway, so we wouldn't clash. But Tuesday night is a pretty good night to do stuff on because it doesn't seem like any of the other creators that we sort of seem to collectively watch and hang out in the chat in. That they don't really do anything.
Do they not do? Do they not do Tuesday night's main event anymore?
Well, you see, you're talking about your Tuesday night. I'm talking about my Tuesday night. So my Tuesday night is usually empty. That'd be your Tuesday daytime.
No, okay, yeah, man. We can whatever works for you, man. It's you could do yours, and then we team up together, when Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. Yeah, don't touch tip too. It's not gay.
No homo.
Yeah. Any week.
Gay.
But it'll be more when Hulk Hogan and Macho Man teamed up, man. It was the ultimate. It was the ultimate.
So when Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl, what's his face? Yeah, grab arms.
Yeah.
Saturdays.
Yes, we are dang sure going to do that. Saturday sounds like a good day, man. As long as I'll because I can sleep in and get up, do my little workout thing, and then stream. Sounds like fun. That would be. I was thinking about that too, like a good Saturday, like maybe during the day stream for Transformers or something. Because I can go, like, man, I can go just obsessed with that stuff, man, and just I forget some things, but I've got like an almost encyclopedic knowledge. I went and like read through all of the IDW Transformers comics last year. I mean, I just bulldozed through. You're talking like 1,000 comics or something, like maybe it was.
Well, and I'd like just throwing an idea out there for you now. Maybe you could make it like, Jesse's got the one about the Justice League.
Yeah.
That you've got going every week, yeah. And you have someone on talking about that, and you're on there too because you know about it all. Yeah, so it's a once weekly thing. So you could just literally just break it down into pieces, and you go through those comics and you go through. Do you get what I mean? Or you go through that series.
Yeah.
Every week you break it down, have someone on, like sort of break it to pieces.
I think going over the Dreamwave comics, that's what this art is from.
Mm-hmm.
That's, the Megatron is Pat Lee, and the Optimus Prime collage. That's like every Optimus that there is. It's like a Primal, Generation 2, Armada, Power Master, up to like this is 2002. That's 2003, and they were Dreamwave comics because they came out, man, and it was like I had been blown away because I was used to the Marvel comics, and you know how the colors were in the old Marvel comics. It was like a 4-color thing, and it was just, it almost looked, a lot of it looked like it was done with like color pencils because that was just like the technology at the time. And I opened up the Transformers thing. It was like the perfect storm in 2002. A bunch of people my age were like thinking about getting into it. And then they put this comic out and I see the vibrant colors and it just blew me away.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely love the art. A lot of people like trash Pat Lee's art because he made them like marshmallowy and stuff. And it didn't bother me, but like Pat Lee is the reason that Dreamwave Comics went under. They had the Transformers license. They still outsold IDW's big time when they first came out. And I'm starting to lose my voice from talking so much.
Yeah, it happens, man. You just need to get a glass of water by the side of you. You pass it. You finish your sentence and you pass it over to you. That's it quick. Then you turn the camera off and then you have a quick drink, and then your jobs are good. And you don't. But what you don't do is you don't leave your co-host just like don't walk off and leave your co-host without saying anything. Did you hear any of that?
No, I didn't. But I'm sure he was talking some smack behind me, man. I knew you were gonna go off on that. That's hilarious.
I didn't actually talk any smack about you.
That's cool.
There's nothing that I wouldn't say to your face anyway.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I'd much rather talk to somebody to their face instead of doing some cowardly BS. But
yeah,
that would be cool. They hated Pat Lee because he's the reason that Dreamwave went bankrupt. And Don Figueroa, the guy who drew that, he's still my favorite Transformers artist of all time. He's absolutely fantastic. He didn't get paid for a lot of that stuff, and they were building this universe, and I was just every week I was just all over this local comic store, and then they found out they went bankrupt, and I was like heartbroken because I wanted to see where it was going. Don has posted a lot of his art on Twitter, and I went through and like I downloaded a bunch of the sketches, and there is absolutely, he had a Beast Wars thing, and it was just all that stuff blew me away. And Beast Wars, man, I could do Beast Wars. That would be a good one. That's that's probably standalone. That is like the best Transformers series ever made, man. And it took me
me and my brother had the Beast Wars toys, the Transformers toys and everything, So, I absolutely, of course, I had that tape given to me. So that sort of started me off, that did.
Yeah,
I was able to watch those 2 episodes almost before anybody else.
Yeah, because you went to Mainframe Studios, dude. That is so cool.
When you say Mainframe Studios, I don't think it was Mainframe Studios that I went to. It was like this really small studio, like round some back street in Vancouver. And my dad, because he was working in a game studio, he just asked me, we've got to go around here. Do you want to come with us and see this studio? And I went around there and they showed me around a little bit, you know, and they gave me this tape, says, do you want this? And I was like, yeah, cool. What is it? It's like, oh, it's like a couple of episodes of this new show we're doing. But it's like Transformers, but it's bugs. It's like, oh, right, cool, okay. So I took it home and watched it, and it's the first two, the pilot
first two episodes, yes, yeah.
Second episode of Beast Wars.
Do you think it was like a small voice booth where they did like the?
I think it was more to do with the rendering out of the videos, because it was almost like. I mean, because I don't remember too much about it because I was only like 14, 15 at the time.
Right.
But it was more like a smaller studio, like a contractor studio that they got to do something specifically for them. And so they were rendering it. They'd got the final tape anyway. So they were putting out final tapes, whatever they were doing there. But I mean, like, it was full of like computers, but you know, it's like no windows. It was this brick walls and everything in there, and it was just like a basement studio.
They were doing groundbreaking stuff with that show. That's one of their first 3D shows, and I think it still holds up. To me, I mean, there's more detailed stuff now, but like the story and everything, that's why it took me so long to get into. I was like, Optimus Prime is not a monkey. Well, you come to find out that's not Optimus Prime. That is Optimus Primal, who was named after Optimus Prime. And they go and they're like the descendants. And then they tied it back in to the G1 cartoon. And it was just like chef's kiss. It was just fantastic. I watched it and just became just obsessed. You had like David Cage, like, yes, his Megatron was just fantastic, and you had Scott McNeil doing like Dinobot and Rat Trap and everything. It's just such a cool story because it was just a small group of bots, and they could tell a story that was character driven. It's fantastic. But yeah, it's definitely a good one. I might have lice. Not really, but
Maria is asking, okay, did it cut off? So I'm just checking the live feed. It's live for us. It's live for me on YouTube.
Yeah, it's live for me too. Is it?
Yeah, so yeah. So if that's what you meant, love, it's still live for us.
I think it's still working.
Because we just hit the 2.5 hour mark, as Hale just said.
Which I think we'll probably head out here in a few minutes so that you can like finally get some rest. Yeah, man. Thank you for hanging out, though, dude. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, buddy. Just throw the link out. If I can make it, I can make it. If I can't, I can't.
Oh.
But I mean, if we can arrange something as well, you know, if we can have more, you know, like heads up, because today was very impromptu, and I didn't mind turning up because I was able to do it. But if I was at home and I was busy, I'd have still dropped what I was doing just to come on anyway.
See, that means the world to me, brother. That is awesome. I'm not one that's like gonna be like, I'm too cool to say something like that. No, man. When you were awesome to me, I want to make sure I tell you that you're awesome, and you are freaking awesome, dude. And that means
thanks. You're not bad yourself, mate.
Well, I appreciate it. The fact that you're just like, I'll drop everything to be on stream for that is like one of the nicest things anybody's ever said to me. I absolutely love it.
Well, we've been mates for ages, mate. You know what I mean? It's been a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't not be here. Why would I not be here? We've been mates for a long time. So,
see, now why would I not be here? That's just, yeah, exactly. Why not? Just like, yeah, man. And if you want to do like your stream, like I was talking about you before, we'll work out a time so that we don't clash with each other. And then like we can come together just like, Explosions everywhere.
Now it is starting to sound gay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Explosions.
You meant
Explode
background explosions, didn't you? Where we're like walking
Yeah.
away in slow motion, really cool.
like some Michael Bay stuff. There was a Michael Bay. Yeah. There was a Michael Bay commercial when he was like, "Hi, I'm Michael Bay, and I demand things be awesome. Awesome grill, awesome pool." And he was just blowing shit up in his yard. He had like, he was blowing up the pool, he was blowing up the grill, and he went inside his house and he had a framed picture of an explosion. I thought that was like the funniest shit ever.
I'd never seen that.
Oh, I'll have to dig that up sometime.
Mhm.
It was, I forget what it was. Maybe it was cell phone, something or another. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like awesome pool, awesome grill, awesome this. And he just had the control buttons in his hand where he just blows shit up. But the framed picture of the explosion, somebody pointed that out to me, and I was like, oh my God, they killed me. But yeah.
Find it for next time. You can show me.
Yeah, I'll have to remember that Michael Bay commercial. And I may have to give you, I don't know if it's going to let me share audio on this thing. It may have to be with the fact that like I use Firefox. Yeah, and
it's a lot of people have problems doing it, but I don't mind if you send me links. I'll put them in the present thing, and you just accept it, and it'll come up.
Yeah, and I'll add you as like an admin for StreamYard so that you can pull that stuff up. I don't know. Let's see if this. I actually found it. Let's see if there's not any audio, then I don't think it will be, but I'll try.
I'll hear audio on both sides.
I'll tell you what, I'll post the link in the chat, and then you can share it, and that should work. And I'll put it in the private chat, and you can share it, and I'll let it go through, and that hopefully that'll work. I got so used to Firefox from back in like 2004, and like what you were talking about before, man, with the groups of fans and stuff like that. That's how all the Transformers people. I got friends that I've known since then. When these comics were coming out, we went to a message board, and we used to hang out with hang out with each other and just talk about all this kind of stuff. And it was it was like a grassroots, homegrown community. Everybody just liked this thing. And back then, it didn't matter what political aisle you were on or what side of the fence you rode. Everybody was cool to each other. Yeah,
and I've said it before as well, where about like the original Star Wars series, the 3 films.
Yeah.
I mean, after the first one, George Lucas wrote that first one. After the first one, he didn't have a load of fucking people getting on social media and complaining to him, saying, well, I didn't like the way that this happened, and I didn't like this, and I didn't like that. You should make it like this, you should make it like that. He didn't have any of that, and he still wrote The Empire Strikes Back. And you know what? The Empire Strikes Back was a great movie, but it contained things that people didn't like. Some people didn't like. It contained things that turned people off Star Wars forever, and it, to some people, it is the best Star Wars film out of that original trilogy. Some people think it's Rogue One out of all of them.
Some people are kind of retarded, but like it was like when Empire Strikes Back came out. When I was a kid, I didn't like it that much because Han was mean, and then he got put in the carbon stuff. But then, like going back and watching it, it's fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. They even got when he's evading all those Star Destroyers in Millennium Falcon, they did so much more with those models than they were able to do in the first movie to make it
And
look.
it was all done on film as well. Nowadays, look at all the things that like Legion of Memers can do. Look at what you know. You've probably got meme artists that hang out in your chat here. Just look at the things that I did. A few things for Darth Call the other day, just for shits and giggles. I've made a hologram of him and Grogu. Yeah, it's like taken from a video. I cut him out, and I made him into like a Star Wars hologram on the Darth Maul ship, the Scimitar. And I sent it to him just for shits and giggles. I don't want anything out of it. It's just like I sent it to him because I wanted to do it. I needed the practice making the hologram. You know what I mean? In After Effects, you can do all that right now on a computer if you just put a little bit of effort into it. They had to print it on film, and they had to double print it on film, and then they had to send those cans away to get printed again to be superimposed, just to get like the cutout, the you know what I mean, the matte and all of that done.
Put the ships in the space background and all of that. They had to layer it with a bunch of different. That's insane when you think about the dedication and spoiled everybody with this digital stuff. They had to sit there and cut out each, like you were saying, like they cut out each piece of film to put that in there because that was just, and that's like the way that they did it. A New Hope, still the space scenes, they are flawless. Everything that is absolutely flawless.
Well, there is. I mean, if you look, I've got some tapes knocking around somewhere. If you look at the old VHS tapes, you can see the mask, like the square mask around the TIE fighters. You can actually see it. So it depends on what kind of TV you've got or how bright you've got the TV set, I guess. But you can see like a square mask that keeps changing every so many frames. But in the newer ones, it's obviously updated. They've taken all that out. They've polished it up a lot, you know, ever since then. It's been remastered. And I mean, I was lucky enough to not, I wasn't lucky enough to go to see Star Wars at the Pictures when it was originally released, but I was lucky enough to be able to go and see the 3 remasters when they did those. And he started adding all that new 3D, you know, rendered stuff in there. And it wasn't that great. They added Jabba the Hutt to it, didn't they? To the first one.
Yeah, they did, because that
Han
was a
steps
scene
on his fucking tail.
That was a scene from the comic book. I had the first issue of the comic book, and they had that scene in there. He was like a Scottish dude with a big cloak, and Han's walking around. And there's also, and I bet all of this stuff is deleted scenes. Luke is talking to Biggs on Tatooine. This stuff was in the comic, man, and that's why I was
watching a space battle through his binoculars.
I think so. I believe that's right.
That's in the novelization as well.
Yeah. So it's like, that was cool because we had an oversized comic, and there's no telling what happened to it. Well, I read it. There's hundreds and hundreds of times I read that thing, and it was like just about tattered to pieces. If anybody had it, it would be like my older brother, but it may have been lost to time, but it was just, I just remember reading that because I think it was one of 3, and I never got to finish it because we never had the other 2. But it was like I read it over and over again. But like, I can't believe you found the square on the TIE fighter, man. That's crazy.
It's overall all of those superimposed, like even the, you know, the walkers, the 8080 walkers. You know, you could see it around that. Anything that was animated and that was superimposed, you could always see the mask. One of the things that I do appreciate about older movies is those beautiful matte paintings that came out of them, you know, like when they're on Bespin or you know, or just, but not just those movies. I'm just talking about older movies in general.
Wrath of Khan.
They made beautiful matte overlays for things.
Wrath of Khan, when they go in there and it shows we did this in a day, and you've got that big shot of like what looks like just open place with all of this life, vegetation growing and everything, and that's a big matte painting. That is, and it
someone
looks
stood
fantastic.
there and painted every tiny little bit of that on a piece of glass.
That's crazy, and it looks so. And I would have never even thought of that back in the day. It just felt like, okay, that was, you know, that was movie magic. That felt real.
I mean, it dates back ages though, doesn't it? I think like even it might be Buster Keaton or Charlie Chaplin.
Probably.
They did this like illusion where it seemed like he might fall off a really high part, but it was actually just a matte painting that had been pulled back. You know what I mean? The camera angle is just at the right angle. But he's perfectly safe. If he'd have fallen backwards, he'd have just gone behind the matte painting.
But it tricked your brain into like, imagine if you were seeing that. I know that would trick my brain. It's almost, have you ever been to those theaters where they have like the wraparound screens?
Oh, IMAX, yeah.
Is that IMAX? Because I went at Huntsville, Alabama, up in the NASA. They have a NASA museum there, and they do this thing, and you'll be like in the cockpit taking off. It tricks your brain into feeling like you were in there. It'll make you dizzy, and it'll make you feel like you're falling. Because
first time I ever went to an IMAX was at the I think it's the Science Center in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And like one of the first few images that I saw was like it was taken from an airplane. It was flying over mountains really close, but it was turning at the same time. And obviously the whole screen, like you say, is outside of your periphery. Yeah. You know, you're looking straight in the middle of the screen, so the entire screen takes up the entire, circumference of your periphery, and it's twisting like that, and you're holding onto the chair. You're going, whoa, I'm going to fall out my fucking chair here. Yeah, it totally tricked your brain. It's the same as the VR, because I play VR a lot, and I like to play flight simulators.
Yeah, the VR.
And so when I'm in like a Spitfire, and I'm like looking all around the cockpit. I'm looking all around the cockpit like this, and like I'm like turn upside down. It makes your stomach go. And like if you're crashing, you're coming down to the ground. You're coming down at an angle. Like you see the ground coming towards you really quickly. It makes your stomach go.
Oh God, that's crazy. And what's funny is I said this, the theater with the wraparound thing, and you're just like IMAX, and I was like, oh okay, yeah, I guess because there's not an IMAX around here. And the only thing I remember was going up to the, I'm sure they have them in Birmingham or whatnot, but like Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
And going up there and seeing it, they had an escape pod. It was like a little basket that when the shuttle was already mounted on the gangway and stuff, they had to evacuate. And they had the camera on that thing, and it shows it like it's like a zip line down. And as soon as it hit the net, everyone was like, oh, like that. But it was
interesting.
It was crazy, man. It was like the Huntsville, the Space Museum there is absolutely it is so cool. They have a Saturn V rocket. They've got a mock-up of one that's in like straight up, like it's assembled. It's like a copy of one. It's not an actual one, but they have an actual Saturn V, one of the moon rockets, in sections. And they built museums around the section, so you can go check out how huge those giant. I think there were P5 boosters. It's something like the boosters that lifted that thing out. It's just incredible to see how the big that stuff was. It's insane.
Maria Hargis is off.
Yes, Maria. Thank you so much, girl, for hanging out with us. Maria is a super awesome, super nice person. You're an absolute sweetheart. Thank you for hanging out on my stream. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm so pleased that you've had people in your chat. You've had people turn up. Just super pleased about that. It's been a really good. It's almost like you've been streaming for years. The amount of people that turned up in your chat and the amount of people that turned up on your stream, it's almost like you've been doing this for years. So it's a good start, mate. And I've been reading the comments in the chat. Everyone's been enjoying it. So it's been a successful first stream.
I appreciate it. It's very humbling, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate everybody doing that. It's nice. It feels normal. This is like all the way back when Quarter Black Garrett was doing his gaming streams, like on Saturday. I got in the chat and I remember like other people were just, when everybody would talk while he was playing like Doom Eternal. And I'm just like, and it took me a while to figure out, oh, these are members or something. Cause I didn't know anybody else that had done that except for him. And maybe other people had done it. But like, I remember joining it. And the first time I got on, was able to talk and stuff like that, Garrett goes, Diesel, you've got a lot to say, man. You have got to get you a YouTube channel and start streaming. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. That's cool. And I've always kind of kept that in the back of my head. That, and because you were in there back then too. That's like, that's just cool. It's very humbling that people showed up to hang out and just listen to us talk. It's fun. It's just a bunch of real people talking about just whatever comes to mind. It's fantastic.
Well, I mean, you think about it. It's like I was saying earlier about normal world. The reason why the majority of people tune in is because Dave has got a following anyway. Quarter Black has got a following anyway. They know them both from like Crowder and from doing their own things anyway. They like their styles. And that's why they go and watch it. Now, the people who are turning up and saying, oh, what is this show? What is this shit? You obviously don't know who these people are. If you're asking that question, what is this that we're watching? You obviously don't know who these people are and how they've grown as content creators. And it's the same as you or I. We're sort of, we've come from a place where it's been surrounded by a community, and that community has organically grown around, and because we sort of stick to the same channels and we sort of involve all the same different creators, and it's all the same people in the chat, and it's this one humongous community of creators and the chat. What I mean? And the audience. This is the new entertainment. This is the new way forward. This is the new media.
I believe you're absolutely right. The whole group of people behind like the fellowship, as Gary calls it, and everything. It's just everyone's pretty cool, nice, and you're all like friends and stuff like that. Like we've been talking for forever. That's like, like I don't know. I feel like I've known you for like forever now.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and everything just kind of flows natural. I think that's what was everything is so drawn in about a lot of the streamers and stuff, is that they're real and they're talking about, it just sounds like stuff that I would talk about. And
well, you used to, I mean, I don't know whether you used to, but some people may actually still watch proper TV, you know what I mean? That's actually broadcast. I don't watch broadcast TV. I don't watch terrestrial channels or cable or satellite or anything like that. I don't watch any of it. If there's a show that people are recommending, I can easily download it.
Yep. Yeah.
Sorry,
that's man. I don't have cable here. Only thing I have is internet, and I'm just like you. I haven't watched it in forever because there's nothing on. I'd much rather like
that I'm interested in.
No, after seeing live streams and people hanging out, that's all I'm about now.
When I was in Canada, the amount of adverts, it was every 10 minutes. So it was like 10 minutes of show, and then it was 15 minutes of fucking ads, 10 minutes of show, 15 minutes of ads. So out of a 20-minute show, they'd get an hour's show out of it, that sort of thing. I'm hyperbolizing a bit. And I wondered if it's the same in America. It's not the same here. We have a little bit longer between advertisement breaks. But is it the same in America where it goes for like 10 minutes and then it's an advertisement break?
I think it is kind of like that now. It didn't used to be, because I know like if you had a 30-minute show, or which broke down to be like a 22-minute show, and go back to
you just took the message off the screen. I just wanted to say thanks, Selena. It was good to see you too. Thank you.
Selena is a super
and Iron.
Awesome. And Iron. They are just those
real people.
Yeah, man. I started talking to them, and it was like we'd known each other. They were just, great.
Anyway, I knocked you off your stride. You were talking about television.
Yeah. Now it's like for old school, like 30-minute shows, it would be maybe about like 22 minutes of stuff. They would break it down into like I think one commercial break for the animated shows back in the 80s, like Transformers, they had bumpers that they would have. No, they had two. They had one in the middle of the show and then one before the end credits. And they'd bring it back for the end credits. But now I think I've watched some stuff like at my mom's house on her TV, and it's like she has like Roku, but it's like you said, it's every 10 minutes. It's unbearable, and they're the most obnoxious commercials that they can possibly make.
Commercials used to be funny when I was a kid. They used to be creative and you know, that they were well thought out. And I mean, all right, some of them are completely wacky. One of the finest examples of that is when they started banning like cigarette advertisements on TV in the UK. They couldn't like say things like, "Oh, these are really good to smoke. These are so tasty. These are so lovely." So they had to start making up these really convoluted art pieces to sell cigarettes, and some of them were really fucking wacky. Maybe we could like get a stream of that. The wacky UK cigarette advertisements.
Did they actually have TV commercials for cigarettes?
Yeah.
See,
up until a certain point.
They never had that here. They were only limited. They were limited to like magazine articles and stuff like that. That's hilarious.
There was a point in UK history where you could advertise cigarettes on TV, and you could say, "These are great to smoke. These taste fucking great. These do, you know. Oh, cool, blimey, smoke one of these, you'll be fucking." But then there was a point where there was like, "No, cigarettes are unhealthy, and we shouldn't be saying these things about them." So because you couldn't advertise it in that way, they had to advertise it in different ways, and the way that they chose was all these really crazy artistic pieces,
convoluted stuff.
Really out there sort of cinematography. Just it go through this wacky storyline sort of thing, and then it's like Benson and Hedges, right? What the fuck?
And you're just like, they do everything convoluted, not to say that this cigarette tastes great and you should try it. It's hilarious, man. We never had any of that that I recall in my lifetime, any cigarette commercials on TV. There were plenty of them in magazines and stuff. They'd always have people like doing stuff smoking.
Joe Camel standing there going, "This tastes great. It's toasted."
What's funny is that like they banned that over the. Can you guys show nudity in your commercials, but like you can't show cigarettes?
No, we're not. So we have a thing called water shedding over here. And so there's a series of times throughout the evening or before the evening where you're only allowed to show certain amounts of nudity or certain amounts of swearing or certain sort of sexual themes, that sort of thing. So if it's like before 6 o'clock, you're not allowed to show anything that's nude or anything like that because kids might be watching. After that, you can, and it sort of goes up as the night goes on.
But you can still show it at that time.
Later on. That's why on Channel 5, that was known as like a soft porn sort of channel.
Like
after like 12 o'clock at night, you can see a pair of titties on Channel 5 after 5 o'clock, after 12 o'clock at night.
Like Skinamax and Blow Time.
But it's usually really cheesy B movies, and they get their tits out. Still, when you're 15 years of old, you're 15 years old. Who cares? See titties.
Dude, it's like about 10 o'clock. I think we should probably go ahead and wrap this up, man. It has
3 hours, mate.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, my friend. Always.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you. I've really enjoyed it. It's good to speak to the people in the chat and see them all interacting.
Chat is awesome.
So thanks for having me. It's been really enjoyable. Thanks for hanging out in the chat, guys. It's been good to speak to you. I hope I haven't been too boring at all.
Yeah. It's kind of hard for me to type and think at the same time.
I have the same problem, mate. Don't worry about it.
And then I have to look at the things because my typing teacher was on drugs and all that. That's a whole nother story. I can't remember if I told you that one or not. I'll have to repeat it and explain how I never properly learned to type because of my typing teacher didn't grade work when she wasn't there, and she was never there, so we never did it.
We'll save it for another time, mate.
Yes. Well, everybody, thank you for hanging out and coming here on a Monday, and hopefully we'll see you again. I'll try to give people more of a heads up to see what's going on here. But again, thank you to Selena. Thank you to Iron Oxide. Thank you to my brother, the Common Nerd. And thank you to MSK, the lovable dude that he is. And if we'll have to put links to everybody's YouTube stuff, like probably the next time when we get a little bit more structured. But thank you, everybody. Have a great night. It's been a pleasure.
Take care.